Videos and photo galleries on the official website of the International Judo Federation, www.ijf.org. You can follow live results on live.ijf.org.
Well, a very good morning and welcome back to Abu Dhabi on day 2 of the International Judo Federation's last Grand Slam and last event of the year. And it's a very warm welcome to Loretta Kusator. Good morning, Loretta.
Good morning, Sheldon. Yeah, day 2. And I'd like to say it's actually warming up in here, but it isn't. It's warming up outside. And when these contests get started, I'm sure there'll be a lot of heat on the tatami, but definitely not here in this room.
We've got 4 weight categories to bring to you today. We can call it the middleweights, if you like, the under 63 and under 70 kilo category for women, and for the men it's the under 73 and the under 81 kilo categories. Yesterday we had a nice mix of high quality judokas, and as Loretta likes to call them, the up and coming youngsters. We without a doubt had smaller fields, but in addition to it being the end of the year, we've also got a continuing pandemic that we are dealing with, so it's not surprising that the numbers are a little bit reduced. However, that did not in any way take away from the quality of the judo that we saw yesterday, and I'm going to be absolutely perfectly honest, as I always try to be when I'm talking about the quality and the numbers. I don't try and dress it up. You at home, you know who's here and who isn't. But yesterday we had, in the under 52 kilo category, I think a really top level competition. We ended up with having a very good event in the under 48 kilo category when we saw the youngster Susi Scuto of Italy coming through and taking the gold medal. 57 kilo category, you know, the Telmo Montero in the final with Priscilla Neto. Come on, yes. You know, that is
that
quality.
Was very strong, wasn't
that
it?
is high quality. The men, it was a little bit different. They were young, they were upcoming. However, the gold medal in the under 60 kilo category went to the Olympic silver medalist Yang Yung Wei. You know, you could only get one better.
That's it.
And he wasn't around. So, you know, that was a wrap for yesterday, for those of you who didn't see it. Today, Loretta's going to tell us what's happening. What we got in store then?
Well, we're in for a bit of a treat again, I think, today. We're in under 63 kilos. We've got Leski of Slovenia, and she's the #1 seed coming into this competition, world silver medalist, and had a silver medal in Zagreb just recently. She is on form. She'll be wanting to prove herself here today, and but she'll have a couple of challenges, there's no doubt about it. one of those challenges is the number 2 seed, which will be Renshaw of Great Britain, who's had an absolute blinder of a year as far as results are concerned. In Baku, won the gold medal, Paris Grand Slam, a silver medal, and Antalya, she was also gold medalist. She had back in 2017, started her debut in a competition of taking her first Grand Slam medal, and that was here in Abu Dhabi.
Oh, okay.
So it most probably will bring some very fond memories and a little bit of luck that she most probably will need in a tough lineup there in the under 63s. You also, you can't go without mentioning Vermeer of the Netherlands, Quadros of Brazil, and we've also got outsiders, Heka, Davidova, and Shari of Israel. So that, for me, the under 63s is going to be an absolute humdinger. It's going to be really interesting, and I'm looking forward to that weight category.
Well, you've got another 3.5 minutes to get through them. Go for
70 kilos. Scotty Mario, again, number 1 seed from Germany. Olympics, she just missed out on a medal, 5th place, so she'll be wanting to really prove herself. But again, another British athlete, Peterson Pollard of Great Britain, junior European champion, and had got a bronze medal in Baku. In the under, let's get to the men now. For the under 73s, Shavadashvili of Georgia, again number 1 seed, Olympic silver medalist. He's got 3 medals, isn't he? The Olympic Games, gold, silver, and bronze. So he's got to be, and world champion. He's a bit greedy, this guy, but he's got it all, and definitely an exciting athlete to watch. And number 1 seed, for me, he's got to be a strong contender for gold medal here today. But to have Tusen Orchid of Mongolia that's going to challenge him, Terev of Uzbekistan. Again, there's some really strong contenders in the under 73 kilos. And then in 81s, you've got the number 1 seed, world silver medalist, 2 times world champion junior and Olympic bronze medalist, but also won a silver medal in Abu Dhabi back in 2018. Will want to do one better here in this country, and that's Kasset of Belgium. But he'll be up again Kubetsov of Russia, world rank 20, world rank number 12, Olympic at the Olympic Games 7th place, again just missed off of being on the podium, but he'll be a real contender. And Lapinigov, again from Russia, another strong athlete, world ranked number 18, and the last medal he got was in Tel Aviv, which was a bronze medal. So again, very, very strong lineup, some interesting matches to be had, and we've just got to sit back, relax and enjoy.
Okay, I'm going to mention 2 names that we hadn't in that little preview there. In the under 70 kilo category, former world champion in Pool D, Marie-Eve Gahi. Look, oh how the mighty have fallen. How quickly you can, come off the boil and end up, down there in Pool D. And the same thing goes for the former world champion Loic Petrie of France in Pool C, unseeded in the under 81 kilo category, a former world champion. It happens, doesn't it?
It does happen. When we say fallen, I would say just sort of under the radar at this moment, because they are always major threats. Like there's a few out there in this lineup. There's some sort of some challenges from the ones that we've already mentioned. There will be those challenges, like we've seen yesterday, a couple of surprises. This is an opportunity because the numbers are so low. There's quality there, but the numbers are low, which means it gives you a much more bigger opportunity to get on that podium, or at least prove yourself of getting past the first and second round, where some of these athletes have never managed to do so.
Okay, we're the choice is yours at home. You can watch whichever of the 3 mats you want. However, Loretta and I are going to go down to see the contests in the opening round of the under 73 kilo category. It'll be Sam King of Australia to go up against Jeroen Kata of Belgium. It'll be King in the white judogi, Kata in blue. Down to mat 3, sit back and enjoy the action. We deliberately avoided going up onto about number 1 because we hadn't worked out how to pronounce the name of the Polish fighter up there. We subsequently did. We went to have a word with the coach, Tomasz Kowalski, the Polish coach, who told us it was Sebastian. Well, we worked that one out, hadn't we? Sebastian Marcinkiewicz. Sebastian Marcinkiewicz.
Well, as always, it's really difficult the first match out, and
What were the names?
with the names and everything, yeah, definitely the names. It's getting sort of the tongue twisters going, isn't it? It really does.
That's why we went for Sam King and your own Kata.
Sam King, there we've got.
You're a
That's why
winner.
we went with those two.
Can't get that wrong, can you?
Exactly.
Anyway, best wishes to everyone in Australia who may be watching, and have their fingers crossed for Sam King. Hope he gets on well.
He's got to have a little bit more confidence though as he starts in this match. There was an attempt of a drop, and he didn't get the rotation in there, and as you can see, he's just picked up his first Shido in the opening seconds of this contest. A little bit, most probably nerves has played a major part in this, but as you can see, he looks quite defensive.
I was lucky to get into the warm-up area and chat to quite a few people this morning. It's not a bad effort. Went onto his knees. Chance to work on the ground.
Well, he's digging in there looking for an opportunity, gets a nice little roll over there, but
Top half is done.
Needs to tidy up a little bit better though. As you can see, that leg is going to be the next issue that he has to deal with. But
Still
it's
battling.
still loose.
He wasn't sure whether to go for the arm.
Yeah, there was too many thought process in that,
it was
wasn't it?
That is what did for him. Make your mind up. You can always change later, but you've got to be determined in the first instance. That opens things up because your opponent then has to defend against something. But if you're not sure, well, you don't know where we're going.
Well, that's like, you have to have an action. You have to have game plan when you go down there. You have to go straight for what you see as an opening, and then depending on the action of your opponent, whether you have to be more flexible in transition.
My thoughts were for the Osaikomi.
Yes.
Nice turn, looked like the Osaikomi was there, and then all of a sudden I saw him working on the arm.
If this is a problem with some athletes, they go into Niwaza and they complicate things. Just go for the most direct and the most simpler way of actually scoring, either for the Ippon in the hold down or the Shimiwaza.
Single Shido against King with a little over a minute left to go in regulation time. Kata yet to get going, to be honest.
It has been a slow start for Belgium, there's no doubt about it. We were expecting a little bit more sharpness from him. But it's the first match, and I would imagine he's coming against an unknown, so you don't become too sure of yourself. You get a feel of the contest and how it's going, but we're looking now in the last minute, and I would have thought with the sort of first exchange into the first minute, 2 minutes, you would have already had a good idea of what you were up against. So I think that excuse is most probably gone out the window for Cassie. And 2 Shidos, it's 2 each now.
Yeah, even the Australian coach spotted that one. he gave the signal to the referee, actually. And a couple of seconds later, Roland Poiga was calling Mate and saying, yeah, you're right, it was an overly defensive posture. Matthias Kasa, his brother, has come up into the stands to watch.
Comes in again with that Sianagi, drops underneath his opponent. Again, didn't get that movement that he required. He needed to get in a little bit deeper, rotate the hips a little bit more. Got to be careful when he drops in like that. Could pick up that third Shido. Sutemi was her attempt there. Now King has to really start doing something. Well, there you have it. had too many warnings. Third and final warning was a Hansokimaki now, and sadly for Sam King of Australia is out in the first round. But Kasich, Belgium will go through to the next round.
And who does he have? It was a tough draw, I think, wasn't it? Once he got past.
He'll have
yes,
next match. So
yeah.
that'll be
well.
Say no more. Well, we don't know. Might have a bad day at the office.
Sendocher Sogbata of Mongolia.
I don't think I've ever seen him have a really bad day. He's always been a very consistent.
Right, coming up next, Martin Hojak of Slovenia. Sorry, is up against Joshua Green of the Republic of Ireland. It's Hojak in the white judogi, Green in blue. Green and blue. Okay. Little things, please, little minds, you know.
I was probably the only one that's laughing.
Oh, white in white, I've said that before. White in white.
Well, Green is looking quite strong, and he's a feisty little character from Ireland. He's strong, very determined athlete, a little bit unknown, and but he's really determined to put his mark on this competition. Here he's getting a great opportunity to be exposed to a world-class event, and he's taking full advantage of it. As you can see against his opponent, he's got a little bit more experience at this level.
He was a little bit over-ambitious with that turnover entry. Even as he entered into it, I thought, "Ooh, this looks a bit, you know, tasty," because you would have to be good to expose yourself to that kind of a danger, to go onto your back and start working it. But then it was quickly finished. It was finished so quickly. And well, why did you bother then if you're not, you know, that adept at it? I thought for a minute, well, we're going to see something here.
Good strong gripping action there. Both looking for an extreme side, tempting each other with that Osotogari, but you know what comes at the end of that? It's that counter, the possible counter. Nice little turnover, but can he accelerate? Oh, yes, he can, and that's a nice turnover.
Got to get out of there.
And Joshua
Green
is in trouble. He's got
the
to
wrong
keep
way.
working.
Arm was trapped. Nice trap there.
Yes, he's got that.
From Hojak. That made it difficult. The only way in was into him, because away you still exposed your arm. And when he sat up, he would have had to have turned.
But the arm was trapped underneath,
trapped
so
anyway.
he had one shoulder connected with his opponent.
Well, when he sat up, he had a chance.
Yeah.
That was the only chance, because once back down, Hojak then went onto the other side.
I think it's
so
the first initial reaction is the most important one. If you don't react correctly the first opening, you become tied up in the situation, and it becomes impossible to get out of that.
First round,
so it was Hojak who came with the clever one.
That's it. Now that's where the arm became trapped. He brought that knee, he bent the knee, brought it back behind his own leg, which trapped it even tighter. This.
And still, Green managed to sit up. If you run it a little bit further, you'll get to see him sit up fully, but he gets pulled back down. And then there's no way out. Artem Homila of the Ukraine is up against Daniel Powell of Great Britain. It's Homila in the white judogi, Powell in blue. I'm not sure if these two have gone head to head before. I think they've faced one another. But I'm just trying to remember why I think that. Anyway. Look it up, I suppose. Who's that on map 2 that's caught my eye? Kazbek Nagushev of Russia. He's on map 2 at the moment.
Well, Daniel Powell, 142 on the world ranking, 24 years of age. It's one of these young athletes from Great Britain that's starting to become more and more experienced and confident every time we see him out on a world tour. Definitely one that's on the radar for the next games. And a silver medal in Sarajevo European Open in September. Comes in with a Sianagi, nice strong entry there. Left himself a little bit vulnerable at the latter stage of that. But the Ukraine. Now picks up a Shido, so it's one apiece.
In white judo, representing Australia, Jake Benstead. In blue judo, representing Saudi Arabia, Sulaiman Hamad.
Well, they did compete against each other, and it was in Sarajevo in the European Open this year.
So I'm wondering why
Daniel Powell beat
why
him.
Why would I know about that? Because I wasn't there.
Yeah. Obviously the winner at that match was Daniel Powell, so he'd be pleasantly confident. But also in the under-23 European Championships, which was a little bit further back in 2017.
Yeah, he's beaten him twice then.
So it's a 2-0 at the moment.
At that, we were still allowing any number of wazaris. Do you remember when we had a period where the rules that you could score any number of wazaris you liked? Because he scored on him 4 times, Ippon, and 3 wazaris.
It was a good win, that's what I'm saying. Well, Hamad is doing well though, considering he's been defeated twice by Daniel Powell. So Chigari, this time a little bit slow in transitioning into the Niwaza. I thought he would try and capitalize on an opportunity there. But Ukraine now picks up his second Shido. Powell coming in for, it's very, very silly indeed. A couple of Sianagis. The first one was a little bit dubious, but the second one that followed that was a little bit desperate. So he's got to be careful that he could have really cost him dearly there.
Too static. Too static. Move and use your feet.
That number 1, next contest, the first round, men under 81 kilo.
Just very, very short and coming through with that Sianagi.
Tajikistan. Nazar. In blue judo, representing
35 seconds remaining, and still on. Hamad got the result, which it did look very dangerous. And really, Daniel Powell gave him that on a plate. There's no doubt about it. It was his own doing, and he'll be really disappointed in that. And he's left himself very little time to come back. Again, that's overusing that Sianagi really needed to change his game plan there.
Hamad there for me was overly defensive.
Yes.
Bent over. He's lucky to get away with that.
Well, I think Powell will be very disappointed in that result. And this is where the disappointment came. He came in for that Sianagi, a half-hearted attack, and then he left himself so vulnerable.
Yeah.
And it was just the tewaza movement from his opponent, from Hamad, that capitalized on a massive error that Daniel Powell made there.
That number 3, next contest, first
Right, just let me
round,
get the
3 kilogram.
draw
In white
sheets
judo gi
up,
representing Tajikistan.
and they will introduce the next
Safonov.
pair of
In blue judo gi
fighters.
representing United Arab Emirates.
We're staying with the
Al-Hosni.
under 73 kilo category. I don't see
Oh,
anything that's going to
beautiful
drag us
shot.
anywhere else. I missed that.
Oh, it was nice. Great opening there.
Right, it's Muhammad Madrahim Sarakonov of Tajikistan up against Khalifa Al-Hosani. And given that it's finished, probably won't have to say his name again in this round. But that wasn't bad, was it?
I think I was very impressed with that, dear. Very impressed.
Muhammad Rahim Sarakonov.
And here's the opening. Look,
He's the winner.
Oh, beautifully done.
Right, coming up next then, Antoine Bouchard of Canada goes up against Abdullah Hamad of Saudi Arabia. Bouchard in the white judogi, Hamad in blue.
In white judo gi for Canada, Antoine Bouchard. In blue judo gi for Saudi Arabia, Abdullah Hamad.
Bouchard straight in there. No messing around.
Score, Dhabi 2.
A little bit of a wake-up call there for Hamad. Attempt for Sutemiwaza, drawing his opponent down into the ground there, now trying to capitalise on it. Looking for the looks to be like the Sangaku turn, but the legs are not connected. He's going from left to right. Now he's hooked up on that arm, trying to tie it up. Again, he's going for a few different options there, but he's then decided to work for the Osakomi.
Just trying to remember the catchphrase that they used in this particular show. It's called "Make Your Mind Up Time." You know, and poor old Antoine that couldn't make his mind up. He would not have been a good contestant on that game. You know, we said it in a previous couple of contests.
Yeah, it is a situation that he had.
No?
There was a couple of opportunities
Take
there,
your pick.
but I think, in all fairness for Bouchard, it was Hamad really
Wriggling like a
wriggling
snake,
like
yeah.
a snake in the grass. So yeah, he was working hard not to sort of be pinned in any way, and
He was too high up, wasn't he?
yeah.
Didn't have enough of the torso to really take control.
Once again, Bouchard attempting a Sutemiwaza, but Hamad was more or less on his knees at that time. Didn't give himself much opening to get a rotation there. Now we'll pick up a penalty here, so definitely deserved that one. Left hand over the top, drawing down on the shoulder, controlling the head nicely. He's got that sleeve grip too. Very, very strong in the kumikata. Hamad attempting what looked to be a sumigeshi, but poor attempt, and second Shido now, so he's not doing so well at the moment. Couple of poor choices there, and finds himself now 2 Shidos down. One more would result in the Hansokumaki disqualification there, and we've still got 1 minute and 44 seconds remaining in this contest, so still a long way to go. Can he last? the time, it looks very unlikely. Bouchard comes over again once more with the left hand over the back of the head, now this time deep onto the belt, and Hamad's trying to get the counter. Oh, and he does! Hey! But this is 1 minute and 1.5 minutes remaining, so he's got a long way to go. He can't defend on that. But I think when they realised that the landing was literally on the bottom on that one, but nevertheless, a good attempt there was made from Hamad. Ochigari attempt there from Bouchard. Deep over on the belt, but the lifting action here of Hamad as he comes right under his centre of balance, drawing back off there. Makakomi attempt from Bouchard left him a little bit vulnerable. But his back didn't actually touch the ground at all.
He had the elbow down to keep him off.
So,
a little bit different this time.
The Sangaku turnover now secures the Osakomi. Well, Hamad gave us a little bit of excitement there, didn't he?
Yeah, look, I mean, he's a completely different position from last time.
I think so much effort went into this contest from Hamad. I don't think he has anything left in the tank, to be honest. So Bouchard, after a little bit of a shaky moment, goes into the next round of the under 73 kilo category.
Right.
First round, main under 18
We will at some stage be changing mats, but not in a hurry, because coming up next on mat number 3 will be Armen Agayan of Russia. He's going to go up against Luca Otman of France. It'll be Agahian in the white judogi, Otman in blue when we get that far. But Hamad is taking time to get himself tidied up, actually. Right, okay, there he is. Bouchard is off. Hamad, a spirited effort by the Saudi player.
I like the sound of that, a spirited effort.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
That was definitely. I like the sound of that. It sounds good.
Agahian in the white judogi, Otman in blue. Who we got coming out to take charge of this one? Roland Poigo. Poigo would probably have been in Ufa in Siberia had it not been for this competition. We've got the team event out there, the Europeans at the moment. The women's under 63 kilo category has started on mat number 2. For those of you that want to go over there, we're going to have a pool of the under 63s and then the 70s here on mat number 3. That's what's coming up next on mat 3.
2.
Well,
First
to
round
just
for
under
women
3
under
minutes
70 kilos.
remaining, and what a nice finish there. Big hip throw, scoring a Wazari straight into Kezagatami for Osakumi, and it doesn't look like he's going anywhere.
Again, nice and strong, eh?
Very powerful. The arm round the belt, as you can see, very, very close. Well, it was double-handed on the belt, well, just above the belt, as you can see. He's just taking both sides of the jacket, pulling his opponent onto the hips. Lovely Ogoshi. Nice.
Flew as well, didn't he?
Very, very powerful. Well, he'll be up against Bouchard in the next round in Pool D.
Next contest, first round, women under 63.
Right, coming on to mat number 3 now. Emilia Kanerva of Finland goes up against Beyabat Basanjargo of Mongolia. It's Kanerva in the white judogi, Beyabat in blue. Stay here for a bit, I suppose. We've got the first sight of Tanaka Shio from Japan coming up next. She's up against Rachel Hawkes of Ireland. That's in the under 70 kilo category, so quite a mix that we've got here. And then we've got round 2 of the under 73 kilo category. In a couple of fights time, we're going to see Jeroen Kasa again. We spoke about him, well, we saw him earlier on. We spoke about his upcoming contest with Sendocher Sogbata. That's coming up in 3 fights time.
Lovely Sodi there, scoring a Wazari. Bayrat now in a comfortable lead. Navone really has her work cut out now for her. Just under 3 minutes, still has plenty of time. What she's got to be careful is that she doesn't walk onto those Sianagis. And that's Sodi that we've just seen. She's got the sleeve grip and an attempt of an Ochigari, but collapses on the entry. So left it less effective. Mongolian looks to be limping slightly, as you can see that foot on the right foot, I should say. They're heavily strapped. Sianagi attempt, a little bit short in the entry. Canova trying desperately to get a very strong controlling grip first before entry. Now looks for an opportunity in the Niwaza, catches the sleeve, tries to get the rotation over. Doesn't look like she's going to get much change out of this one. Very little options available for her in the Niwaza at that stage.
Tatami 1, next contest, first round, men under 81 kilogram category. In white, judogi for Ukraine, Georg Manukyan. In blue, judogi for France, 2017 world champion, Loïc Pietri.
So there's still the same, no change, still one Wazari on the board. Now we have 1 minute and 18 seconds remaining on the clock. Canova really hasn't had much opportunity in this match to really prove herself. She's been chasing throughout the last 3 minutes, unable to create any opportunity for herself. But there, right up until that moment, comes round to the rear, and now evens this up with 45 seconds remaining. Well, that was a great comeback. It was looking very much like that this was all going to be one way, but now it's back in the mix for both of these athletes. And great opportunity for Finland. Kosota took her there on a real weak side at that time. She came up, the head came up and left herself exposed on the right side. And tries it again. This time the Mongolian was much more prepared for it, but still starting to look quite tired now, the Mongolian. So new lease of life coming from Finland. Looks that little bit more sharper than her opponent from Mongolia. And 12 seconds remaining. Well, it's looking like this will go to golden score. But I think Canova has a little bit more in the tank to push hard in this golden score, unlike her opponent. Barabat from Mongolia looking quite tired now. Fatigue has really set in. Drops underneath her opponent, but again it's a desperate attack. There wasn't much movement in that drop.
London Olympic Games champion under 66 kilo, Lasha. In blue, representing Republic of Moldova, Abdullah.
Well, the winner of this match will be up against Hecker of Australia in the next round. As you can see, Barabat's looking quite tired, nursing an ankle injury as well that you just sense that is giving her a little bit of trouble. Overstretched herself, Canavera. Left herself a bit exposed there in the knee wazzer, and the Mongolian has that arm. Whether she can work her way through and draw the arm out, well, the referee obviously feels that there was nothing left in that exchange in the knee wazzer. 1.5 minutes in golden score. Well, the battle continues. An Ochigari attempt at once more overstretching herself. But Canova now looking for what seems to be a Sangaku, but as you can see, no way of tying up those legs. Well, as the time ticks away, this is where this will be down possibly to one of these athletes making a mistake. The attacks seem to get less effective as the seconds tick away. Not much impact is made on either one of them. Mongolian comes over the top with that right hand, trying desperately to control the left side of her opponent. now has an opportunity, but again, slow reaction. So Shido now kind of up. Surprised that only one got the penalty. Sianagi attempt, again, not too convinced that was strong enough. Possibly she'll get away with it this time, another attempt like that, and she could be seeing herself with a penalty as well. So this is where the penalties will start coming now, because they're just exhausted, these athletes. There's nearly coming up to 7 minutes they've been battling away. Because of tiredness, the skill level is starting to drop. No more explosive power, very little sharpness. Just more desperate moves to try and get this contest over the line for both athletes. Again, I'm not quite sure there. There was a bit of rotation, but Mongolian holding onto the sleeve, so not much leverage from Finland to get the rotation into the turnover. So a Wazaria piece to Shido's Kanava. Now, is this an opportunity for the Mongolian? She's tying up the upper part of the body, controlling that head nicely. Now, and it's easier said than done, is now it's trying to get that leg out. But with 7, nearly 8 minutes, does Kanava have much left to be able to hang on to that leg? Well, just had enough to hold on tight, but she can't afford to get into those predicaments too often, especially on the latter side of this contest. 8 minutes, it's like having a double match back to back. It was an unusual movement there as she dropped in Chigari, but from the knees. The Mongolian looking for a Makikomi. Well, when this match finishes, I think we'll head across to mat number 2, where we've got the number 1 seed in 73 kilos. But I don't think we'll be seeing much more of this. And yep, Kanava takes third and final Shido, which gives the win to Mongolia to go into the next round. Well, we'll hop along across to 73 kilos in mat number 2. Right, well, his opponent is just getting some treatment from the doctor. Sort of nosebleed, so just have to be a little bit patient out there. But it'll be worth waiting for, I'm quite sure. Shevdashvili Lasha from Georgia, number 1 seed in the under 73 kilo category. An Olympic gold, silver and bronze medalist, world champion. I don't think there's any event that this man hasn't won. Up against the Moldovan Osmanov, there in the blue, who's now raring to go.
In blue judo for Mongolia, Mugan Pakpol.
Not so easy to have to wait for your opponent to get medical treatment and just with your thoughts as you're waiting to get started. The way this air conditioning is in this hall, it's very, you can quickly get cold again. Lasher taking the right hand on the lapel, is looking for that sleeve. Trying to set up his opponent there on the edge of the contest area. You can just sense something's just about to happen. Osmanov trying to get two hands on, but drops underneath of Lasher.
Well, I see you've got Shavdatashvili up there then.
Yep, well, he's my top favourite for this weight category, is the number 1 seed.
I'll never forget when we were in Budapest for the World Championships, and you were desperate to take a break, and I said, okay, I'll sit in for you.
Oh, I couldn't believe that.
And
I was so upset.
Yeah, you happened to go off as Shavdatashvili was coming on to fight Ungvari Miklos.
I know.
A repeat of the Olympic final. And when you came back, the stadium had erupted. Obviously, because there was a Hungarian there, but it was just. I thought how unfortunate that you had to leave at that time.
In a way, it was quite good because I managed to have that sneaky preview without having a mic in front of me.
Yeah.
To give those voluntary sort of squeals out now and again, and obviously
anyway,
you've
got your chance now.
I know, and he's doing extremely well.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Osmanov taking him into golden score here.
He's luring you into a false sense of security there. He's really just playing
go with
the
that,
game. Yeah, he's not going to rush it. He's going to just play the game. First match, it's a warm-up. He wants to get a feel of the tatami. He wants to get a feel of the atmosphere. He really just wants to...
feeling his way into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll just see. Well, golden score. You think he'd want to finish it by now, though. But I'm still sticking by my man. 2 Shidos apiece. It's obviously been a very tough day at the office for the Georgian. I don't think he would have expected to be in golden score 3 minutes and 11 seconds in golden score with Osmanov. But hey, this sort of thing happens. It's here to test us. I just don't even want to say it, but I am actually feeling that this could go all horribly wrong. There's some moments from the Moldovan that gives me that sense of sort of he's really in danger at times, the Georgian, especially with the counters. He's a very, very powerful athlete.
Natalie Powell of Great Britain, I was chatting to her this morning. She was talking about the difference between being prepared and properly prepared.
Yes.
That was a terrific point that she made.
She's
said you can do all the running you like and do all the preparation you like, but unless you are properly prepared for judo,
that's it. It's the time spent on the mat which is more important than anything else. And sadly, for some athletes, this has been part of their training that's been missing, is the high quality randori because of the pandemic that they've had to deal with over the past couple of years. Nice Temiwas are there, and this is the sort of scary moments. Now it's 2 Shidos apiece, and you're thinking, oh, Shavdatashvili really needs to sort of pile in 1 or 2 there. He's playing a bit of a dangerous game at this moment.
That's an unusual one. Just heard there was a 5-second ippon. That was a new one on me.
Got to be a good record, that one. 5 seconds. That's me.
Took place down on number 3, I think it was.
He must have sprinted out the gates on that one.
Brazilian. I didn't even see them come on and leave. So I'm going to go with the 5 seconds that I've heard then.
Sianagi, again, another strong attack. Well, I just feel this is going to go horribly wrong. We're talking 5 minutes now, 9 minutes in total. 2 shidos apiece. Osmanov has put in a couple of good strong attacks there, and he's starting to flag a little bit, but there's a Sianagi. Has it one too many? Oh, well. Oh, gosh. The Moldovan's not sure what he's going to do. He doesn't. He's done everything so far, and he's most probably thinking to himself, what do I need to get the last shido awarded to his opponent, because he's put in some really good strong attacks there. I am really surprised that that third shido hasn't been handed out. Oh! She was there. he just sensed something's going to happen. He just, which way? I'm just not sure.
Well, at this point, another good attack from Shavdatoashvili would finish it off. He can't afford for Osmanov to attack.
Osmanov has put in a couple of good attacks, though. He's been there. Oh, Chigari. Oh, that was a good one there.
One more.
And yes.
And that'll do.
Well, he's definitely made hard work of this match. Osmanov really has played an absolute blinder in this contest. There's no doubt about it.
This is it here. Shavdatoashvili gets a big attack in first.
He'll get the...
That'll be it.
Yeah. The Moldovan's hands are starting to drop. The power has been drained from the body. And he's defending now. That's another Ochi Ashiwaza. Although not one of the nicest skills, but
I think that's enough now.
It's got to be enough to finish this one.
Three cycles of attacks from Shavdatoashvili without a single attack. Yeah.
And rightly so. Yeah, definitely.
Had to have a decision at some point, and unfortunately for Osmanov it went against him, but based on what we had seen, this was it, and there was the ippon, 5-second ippon. That was Serendulam Enkchemeg of Mongolia going left-sided.
Morati Sianagi, beautifully done that was.
Eduardo Rosa of Brazil. Thanks very much for that heads up. 5 seconds. And that was? Right, okay. I have never seen one as quick as that, although I understand that Voltaboyev put one out that was quicker. If it's quicker than 5, it must have been 4. I did, however, in Brazil, in the World Team Championship, see a 4-second ippon, but it was the other way around. There were only 4 seconds left on the clock. And the two fighters were standing apart. There were 4 seconds left on the clock. The referee called Hajime, and it ended up with a nip-on. So that was as close to a 4-second as I've come, but I don't think that counts for the... Oh, well, that Boltaboyev one, I'm sure we'll find that up there. It came in at 2.8 seconds. I don't think the call of Hajime had left the hall yet, had it? It was still echoing. Again, for those of you who are judo nerds like me, I suppose, you were 2019 Tashkent Grand Prix, if you want to go and have a look at that. Right, we are going to give some attention to the contest on mat number 2 now. Ganbatar Odbaya of Mongolia is up against Kazbek Nagushev of Russia. It's Ganbatar and the white judogi, Nagushev in blue. Round 2 of the under 73 kilo category. Things moving along nicely.
Second round contest for under 73 kilogram category, the Dhabi 3. In white judogi representing Moldova, Viktor Stenbul. In blue judogi representing Tajikistan, Muhammad Rahim Sarahonov.
Nagushev has picked up 2 penalties. And we've still got just under 2 minutes left to go, so not the best position for the Russian to be in. Ganbatar decides to help him out by giving away Shido, an unforced error on the part of the Mongolian there. Really should have had a closer look at the scoreboard and realised that he could keep the pressure up if he remained with just the 1 penalty. Just over half a minute left to go. That was a good effort from Nagushev, bringing Ganbatar down onto his backside and then onto the elbow, so no score. Still got a chance to work things on the ground. The left leg is trapped. He's just trying to free that. Just the foot left in there now. That's squeezed out. He's managed to hold it to the top. And that little relaxation of the body by Ganbatar tells you that he knows he's not going anywhere. You just saw the body relax. And at that point, you knew he wasn't, or he was not confident about getting out of that one. Good finish from Nagushev. Went right to the wire, didn't it? Last few seconds of the contest and golden score was looming large. Nagushev decided he wasn't interested in sticking around. There's the Ochigari and then the Kochigaki. There's the Ochi. He switches it then to Kochigaki, pushes his opponent over that leg. Onto the backside elbow, so no score, but it brought up the Newaza opportunity for Nagushev, and he finished off well. Nice all-round piece of work from the young Russian. That puts him into the next round. Right, who have we got coming up next? Hikmatilov Turayev of Uzbekistan goes up against Suleiman Hamad of Saudi Arabia. It will be Turayev in the white judogi, Hamad in blue. We'll stay here then.
The Dhabi 2 next contest, second round for men under 73 kilo. In white for Uzbekistan, Hikmatilov Turayev. In blue for Saudi Arabia, Suleiman Hamad. Representing Russia, Armen Agayan, please go to Tatami 3.
Hamad has been around for a while. Interesting character. Quite animated on the tatami at times. Turayev gave him a little push on the way up. I wonder what that was about. Maybe they've got some previous.
Next contest.
He does like to mix it up, Hamad. Seen him upset a couple of people. He's upset the referee here, just giving him a Shido. Oh dear. A little bit of a roll there from Hamad. Ippon has been given, and Ippon it is. Takes a tumble there, yeah, just with the one hand.
Tatami 3 next contest, the second round for women under 63 kilograms. In white, judogi for Great Britain, Lucy Renshaw. In blue for Russia.
Right, who have we got coming up on mat number 2?
Next contest,
someone, Makhmadbekov of Tajikistan goes up against Shus Metsilošek of Slovenia. Sorry about that. Makhmadbekov in the white judogi, Metsilošek in blue. Nice to see in the corner of my eye. I can just see Hamad and Turayev walking. They were walking off, almost together, and having a bit of a laugh and a joke about it. So everything is in order, but they definitely have had something in the past. Just checking up on Turayev and Hamad. Yeah, they fought at the World Championships earlier this year. So, and quite a lengthy contest as well. So. No score as yet between Makhmadbekov and Metsilošek. tall for the weight category, Makhmadbekov. Chance to work on the arm, just lost the head. He's on the wrong side. He was onto it quite quickly, but unfortunately for the Slovenian, he didn't get the right position. Single Shido against Metsilosek. Ojigari from Makhmadbekov has Metsilosek defending against that, turning onto his front to avoid giving up the score. Minute 17 left to go. He's just beginning to warm up between these two. Miss with the Kosoto. We've got a minute left to go. Chimata missed, didn't have the hands in the right place. Tried an unusual entry for the Seoinage, Ippon Seoinage, and it almost came off, but it would have been by accident rather than design. I'm sure he didn't mean that. Just continue to attack as it was breaking down. Miss with the Ashiwaza attempt. Oh, there may have been a pause there. He does give a score. Rosari has gone on the board and Metsilosek on the ground defending, trying to keep the leg trapped. Gone now. Really has gone.
Tatami 3 golden score.
No pause. Good call from the referee there. Comes down and he's already looking to bring him down, so there is no score on going down. It's the fact that he's able to bring him onto his back. So it's onto the side, onto the back. Wazari, good call. My initial feeling was that there was a pause there, but there was none. I shall have a word with our friend from Morocco. That was a good call. Well done.
The Dhabi 2, next contest, second round for women under 63 kilo. In white for Slovenia, Andrea Leshki. In blue for Mongolia, Saramtsetsek Khagvaduam.
Right, let's have a look and see who it is that we've got in round 2 of the under 63 kilo category. Number 1 seed, Andrea Leshki of Slovenia. She's going up against Sarantsetsek Lagfandulam of Mongolia. Leshki in the white judogi, Sarantsetsek in blue. Chatting with Leshki's teammate a little bit earlier on, Patrizia Broly. We're talking about how every cycle, every Olympic cycle, brings a new star to a weight category, and that stardom, if you like, has been shared in the under 63 kilo category with Clarice Agbegninu, and Tina Tursteniak. Andrea Leszki must be beginning to wonder when it's going to be her turn. But a wonderful competition record when you consider that she's Slovenia's number 2, world number 2 at the moment as well. Seven Grand Slam medals, 1 gold, 4 silver, a couple of bronze medals in there. Silver medalist at the World Championships earlier this year as well. Not many silver medalists who didn't go to the Olympic Games. Leszki was one of them. Almost. Leszki getting into a good position but couldn't quite finish off. Yeah, she was trying to drag her onto her back, wasn't she? Rather than getting the feet into a position that would have taken her opponent over the back. Strong left-sided Ojigari effort. And then an effort on the right side. There, low Seotoshi maybe. Yes, another good effort, and into the Yosai Komi with very little time left on the clock. Good score.
Now
Leszki able to finish off in Newaza.
In blue judogi representing Ukraine, Anastasia Antivina. Tatami 1, next contest, second round, men under 81 kilo. In white for Mongolia.
Andrea Leszki into
in blue for Ukraine,
the quarter-final, first of the quarter-finals. Her opponent will be the winner of the upcoming contest, and we'll stay here
Tatami 2, next contest.
to have a look at that, and then we're going to go. We'll take a change after that, but for the time being, let's have a look at Renata Zakova of the Czech Republic. She's up against Mieve Coughlin of Australia. It's Zakova in the white judogi, Coughlin in blue. Oh, that was dangerous. As far as the score was concerned, almost getting caught there. Very strong attack. And this was the left leg going around the back. She lost the right hand. If she'd been able to keep that right hand on, would have pulled her opponent's right hand towards her, that would have turned her onto her back. Missed out there. Needs to start thinking about trying to get out of there. No progress shown in attempting to apply the arm lock with any degree of success, so the referee called mate.
In white judogi representing Russia, Aslan Lapinagov. In blue judogi representing France, Dizier Damien.
Not a bad effort from Coughlin there, got into a good position. Couldn't quite finish off though.
Next contest, the second round for women under 63 kilograms. In white for Brazil, Kata Quadros. In blue for Germany, Sapo Choban.
Given a good account of herself, actually, Eve Coughlin, in this contest. Posed a few questions for Renata Zakova. And truth be told, she hasn't been able to answer them yet. Saw earlier that Coughlin's defence was good enough to keep Zakova out. We're into golden score now. Good effort from Coughlin. I would have expected the Czech fighter, Zakova, who's considerably higher ranked than Coughlin, to have caused them more problems, but she hasn't. We've had half a minute of golden score, just that single Shido against Coughlin. Awkward position here now, almost able to apply the shimiwaza. Yeah, once she got caught, there's no way out, I'm afraid. Well, a good effort from Meave Coughlin of Australia, but eventually in golden score Renata Zakharova able to squeeze past the Australian fighter. Got a right arm in a bad place, and from that point on she was in trouble. Let's go up to mat number 1 if we can and take a quick look at what's happening in the under 81 kilo category with Aslan Lapinegov of Russia. He's up against Tizi Namien of France. It's Lapinegov in the white judogi, Namien in blue. We join the contest with a minute left on the clock. There is no score. Both fighters have picked up a Shido apiece.
Next second round contest for women under 63 kilo, the Dhabi 3. In white judogi representing Australia, Katarina Hecker. In blue judogi representing Mongolia, Berbat Basanjargal.
Not surprisingly, both fighters are breathing heavily. We come to the end of regulation time, so energy levels are almost spent. Now we're going to see what they've got left in the tank.
Golden score, the Dhabi 1.
Golden score is underway here on mat number 1.
Tatami 3. It's quarter-final for women under 70 kilogram category. In white, judogi for Australia, Aoife Coughlin. In blue, judogi for Japan, Tanaka Shiho.
Referee just encouraging Namien to hurry up with tidying himself up, getting his belt tied.
Women under 63 kilo. In white,
He's making a meal of that one.
Daria Davidova. In blue, judogi for France, Manon Dekete.
We had just over, well, by the time I finish saying what I was going to say, it will be the other way around. We've had nearly a minute of golden score, and not just over half a minute, but nearly a minute of golden score. Now we have still just the penalty apiece as Namien attacks with Marote Senagi, and another. Slightly off balance with the second one. It's weaker as well. He's not in nearly as good a position as the first effort. It was the second one, it looked pretty poor, didn't it? And Lapinegov almost took that over for a counter.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I thought they might just give that. Though it wasn't very attractive.
It was on the limit, wasn't it? Yeah.
Good Teiwaza, good control. As you can see, straight from there, he pulled back on that sleeve and then planted his opponent down.
All right. Happy birthday, Mr. Pinagov.
Yep.
Everyone's allowed a present on their birthday. And
yeah, it was accelerated the
you
fact
just
that
had
his
yours.
opponent was trying
Yeah.
to sort of react as well to get out of trouble more than anything else.
Right, who have we got coming up next? Dorin Gotanoaga of Moldova goes up against Lachlan Moorhead of Great Britain. That is a round 2 contest, but I think we've got the quarter-final taking place down on mat number
Yes, we have
3.
63s, haven't we?
Although we do have Alan Kubetsov and Zebedo Rekviashvili coming up after that, but let's go down to mat number 3. Let's see what's happening with Ivor Coughlin of Australia. She's up against Tanaka Shio of Japan. It's Coughlin in the white judogi, Tanaka in blue. We join the contest with no score. Coughlin has picked up 2 Shidos, Tanaka just the 1, and we've got a minute and 20 odd seconds left to go. I think we've just seen the sister, haven't we? Meave and Ivor, 2 names of Irish queens from the past.
Something you learn new every day.
Yeah. Well, Chloe Cowan Vickers was up here. We were chatting and we were talking about Irish heritage, of which you should know plenty about, Mr.
Oh, definitely.
Doyle.
Got my Irish passport.
Right. Chloe's up there on the left, and yeah. Those are the names
Nice,
of
got a
Queens
strong team.
of Ireland.
Good young,
Yeah.
strong team from Ireland now, starting to flourish. A bit more exposure at this level will do them the world of good. Kosotra attack there from Tanaka. Then Ochigari, nicely done. So an action, reaction from her opponent to create an opening there with that Ochigari, as you can see, driving off that back leg. Good arm position. And scores a Wazari. So now into the last half minute. And Coughlin really has her work cut out for her now. It's going to be very difficult for her to come back from this situation. She's down 2 Shidos and a Wazari, so it's not looking so good for the Australian.
Yes, Meave was in Irish history the Queen of Connaught, one of the 4 provinces. And then Ivor, well, she was Ivor McMurray.
Winner of the quarterfinal contest in
Go and do a little bit of history work if you want to know about that. Not always connected with the best parts of Irish history. Ivor. Well, we're not going to go into it, but if you're going to mention Dermot McMurray, then you're going to go downhill after that. So we should leave it here whilst we're still ahead, Loretta.
Yes, I think so.
Right. Who have we got coming up next? Former world champion, we mentioned her earlier on. Marie-Eve Gahi takes to the tatami, back to the business at hand. Right, so let's get the 2 fighters introduced properly then. Marie-Eve Gahi and Serendulam Enchemeg. It's Gahi in the white judogi, who's just been given it Ippon, by the way, and Serendulam in blue.
Nicely executed. Lovely control there.
Yeah, I'm okay with that for Ippon.
Yes.
The question
Beautifully
was it a valid technique because of where they were? And yes, because she begins that when Serendulam still has a foot on the tatami. Here's the beginning of the technique now, and the foot was there. So now it was close, but the foot was there just as Marie-Eve Gahi made the movement. Exactly, the upper body. Exactly. As that movement, as she's beginning that upper body movement, the foot is still on the tummy. It's coming up, but it was still, I think that's an excellent call.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you're Mongolian. You're not going to go for that one, are you?
No, I don't. No, definitely a nice technique and a great finish there. And that will be Gahi from France up against Tanaka in the semi-final. So that'll be very interesting.
Well, it's not all bad for Mongolia because we've got another Mongolia about to take to the mat. Sendocher Sogbata is up against Martin Hojak of Slovenia. It'll be Sendocher in the white judo gi, Hojak in blue.
Break on tatami 3.
Oh, okay. There's a break, apparently.
Tatami disinfection.
Yeah, I didn't notice the tatami disinfection yesterday. I mean, it must have happened, but I didn't.
Yes, I did.
I didn't see. I must have been
we were just
wondering.
so engrossed in the under 52 kilos on that stage that we were oblivious to what was going on around us.
So that's also going to be a break on mat 2 then. You may as well do it at the same time. So the only judo that we've got is on mat number 1. However, that contest has just finished. Lachlan Moorhead apparently has overcome Dorin Gotonawaga. They're just going to have a look at that.
That's a great result if that...
Yeah, that action is under review by the refereeing commission. Moorhead had 2 penalties against him.
Yeah, very, very close when you look at the time
that's all good.
Yeah. Well, this young man seems to be going from strength to strength. He's really now made his mark within the 81 kilos.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we have a break for tatami disinfection.
Oh, he was claiming the Wazari at the end to level the scores up, but it wasn't given. That's what they were looking at. Okay, we're going to take a break because we've got a break on mat 1, mat 2 and mat 3. We'll be back shortly once they've carried out the COVID-19 sanitation protocol.
Ladies and gentlemen, the quarterfinal on tatami 2. So we have the quarterfinal on tatami 2. Please welcome to the round on tatami 2 for the quarterfinal for women under 70 years. In white, judo representing Germany, Giovanna Cochinaro. In blue, representing Sweden, Ida Eriksson.
So we'll go to mat number 3. This is the quarterfinal of the under 70 kilos. Scocimaro of Germany in the white, Eriksson of Sweden in blue. In total in this weight category, 11 athletes participated at the beginning of the day. And now we're at the quarterfinal stage. Scocimaro, #1 seed coming into the competition. Just missed out on a medal at the Olympic Games, taking 5th place in Tokyo. Junior world champion back in 2017. Nice entry there, very tall athlete, controls quite nicely. Those long legs are going to cause Eriksson a few problems. Scocimaro with the right hand on the lapel, controlling her opponent's right sleeve as well. Strong kumikata. Comes across the Uchi-Uchimata combination, as you can see, right at the edge of the contest area. Eriksson under a little pressure there. As you get backed onto the edge of the mat, there's very little you can do. There's very little direction you can move. Eriksson taking a high collar grip. Uchimata, well, that was a close one there. Just lost the grip on that sleeve to get the rotation that she needed to get that score. Nevertheless, a great entry. As you can see, the elbow tucked up in the air, little less power generated through there, but still footwork planted well. It's got to give her a little bit of confidence as she progresses into this quarterfinal. 1.5 minutes remaining. Braces down on her opponent's right sleeve. Oh, there, Osota. Eriksson looking to wrap around the waist for a rotation there into the Niwaza, but a little bit slow to react. Needed to be much quicker on that. Although she had that Uchimata, which was quite impressive, still manages to pick up a Shido. Uchimata again, but this time from the German. Both athletes need to tidy up the upper body control. Eriksson trying the Sangaku turnover. Defended well from the German. It is a battle of the kumikata here, both desperately trying to get the stronger upper body control, both opting for very similar techniques, that Uchimata or Uchigari. As you can see, Eriksson trying to attempt there, but without any really firm control. So Temiwaza attempt there from the German. Again, the Uchigari. This time a little bit deeper, hips come in now. She's off that belt, she pulls. Just lacked the rotation. But again, another strong attack from the German. in the opening seconds of this golden score. Well, they just seem to have come alive, the both of these athletes. But once again, Eriksson down now by 2 shidos. Really struggles with the grips from the German, working off those sleeves is causing Eriksson a few problems. Always having to take second best. She has now the right hand on the lapel as she braces over her opponent's right side. The German now comes into the Niwaza, but as you can see, the legs very untidy, and a lot of effort with not much results at the end. Well, Eriksson really has to put some work in now. She's got to be first on the attack. She's got the grip, but she hangs on far too long, really, and allows the German to come in. She works with the Ashiwaza, stumbles Eriksson down onto her knees. Skochimaro obviously senses that she's in a really good position in this golden score. Can take a few risks there by the way that she controls her opponent. Again, that Uchimata, Ouchigari combination there. She's off the belt. Eriksson trying to get the lift, but she's got her leg caught up, which is also very dangerous when you're pivoting on one foot. Once again, Eriksson has got to be in first. 2 shidos down, cannot afford another shido. Comes in with the Uchimata. Skochimaro defends nicely. Two and a half minutes of golden score. Draws down on that head. Sutemi was her attempt there for the German. Eriksson once a right hand on the lapel, turns in for the combination that we've seen so many times now. Uchimata. Oh, falls to the ground. Well, that's not clever at all, and I think now Eriksson's in trouble. And there you have it, the third and final shido, resulting in a disqualification. Hand Sokimaki giving the win to Skochimaro of Germany, who goes into the semi-final of the under 70 kilos, and Eriksson will go down into the repechage.
Skochimaro goes to the semi-final, representing Sweden, Eriksson in the repechage. Ladies and gentlemen, now we have break. On tatami 2, and we are ready to continue the contests on tatami 3 and also on tatami 1. So please be ready for the next contests on tatami 1 and also on tatami 3.
So we'll go on to tatami 3, where this is a quarter-final match at the under 73 kilos. This This is between the Mongolia in white, Senocha, and the Slovenian in the blue, Hoyak. Senocha seeded number 2 in this competition. World ranked number 2, Olympic bronze medalist, and 2 times world champion at juniors.
On the dummy 2, it's quarterfinal for women under 70 kilo, and on the dummy 3, also quarterfinal for men under 73 kilo.
Looks like we're ready to get started on the other mats.
Please ready the judoka and the referees. The dummy 1, second round, men under 81 kilo. In white for Russia, Alan Hugetzel. In blue for Serbia, Zebeda Rehuyashvili. The dummy 2, quarterfinal for women under 70 kilo. In white for Great Britain, Kelly Peterson-Collard. In blue for Russia, Taisia Kirela. And the dummy 3, quarterfinal for men under 73 kilo. In white for Mongolia, Sentochin Zopladar. In blue for Slovenia, Martin Hoyak.
Well, this under 73 quarterfinal gets on its way. Hoyak controlling the sleeves. Mongolian the same, as you can see, taking the left sleeve, or is his opponent. Caused him a few problems to start with, but he's overcome that slight issue. But the Mongolian now working away in the Niwaza, trying to get that rotation. Well, it's a very slow start between both these athletes. All about the gripping styles, both looking for that sleeve grip which they draw down on. And neither one of them can overcome each other's resistance. Now, that reflects on the referee's decision of a Shido each. So now, tactics have got to change slightly here. Somebody's got to be a little bit more braver out there and try and open up and create opportunities. Well, the Slovenian looks like he's tried there with the Sodi attempt. Well, he picks up a second Shido there, so 2-1 on the Shido front. Hoyak there with a very unusual grip, as you could see. He was holding on to the belt and to the front, which is not normally seen. It's around the back that you'd get that grip. Around the front could be perceived as being defensive. So the attempt there, good score, and it was Ippon. So let's have another look at that. So he came in, he's got that sleeve, two sleeves, drops right under his opponent. Yeah, and from that angle you can see why the referee falls over. Not quite sure if it's an Ippon, but yeah, I think it is there, coming on this angle.
On number 3, in white,
Just about. Good call there from the referees.
Tokyo Olympic Games bronze medalist Sentochir goes to the semi-final.
And we'll go across to mat number 2, where we'll see the under 70 kilos quarter-final. See where we are with this one.
In blue for Russia, Armen Agayan.
Peterson Pollard of Great Britain in white. Riva of Russia in the blue. Peterson Pollard. It's one of these athletes that's progressing very nicely on the World Tour. Starting to make a mark in this under 70 kilos, following the footsteps of the likes of Sally Conway in the past, who's just recently retired. Junior European champion back in 2019, ranked 22 in the world ranking, and already this year bronze medal in Baku and a silver in Zagreb Grand Prix. Coached by my very dear friends Fitzroy Davis of Hardy Spice in the Midlands, who over the years has produced some fine athletes. I'm quite sure he'll be watching this match very closely. It's not an easy match though against the Russian. Very strong athlete. '61 on the world ranking. It's slightly lower, 30 years of age. And silver Grand Slam medal. Which was back in 2018 in Ekaterinburg. Oberwacht European Open in 2019, a 5th place. So has been off the scene for some time on the World Tour. Or off the boil, we should say. He has competed, but not really left a mark on this World Tour. So there's an opportunity here for Peterson Pollard, but she is down a Shido and a minute and a half into golden score. either one of these athletes a place in the semi-final. Would guarantee him a place, whether it be in the repechage bronze medal final or competing for gold or silver. Oh, lovely tire toshi there, beautifully executed, and the Russian really didn't see that one coming. It looked nice skip, stepped straight across there, had that sleeve which was the winning ingredient to the finishing touch of that tire toshi.
Winner of the Tatami 2 in white judogi for Great Britain, Kelly Peterson-Pollard.
Well, that's a nice win for Great Britain and Kelly Peterson-Pollard, who will go into the semi-final.
The Tatami 2 next contest, quarter-final for men under 73 kg.
And Kaliva will go into the repechage, and we'll see her a little bit later on representing Russia.
66 kg, Lasha Shavkatushvili. In blue judogi for Russia, Kazbek Mamuchev.
So now we have the quarter-final of the under 73 kilos, and that's from top half of the pool, Pool A and B. Shavdashvili of Georgia in the white.
He's in trouble here, Loretta.
Oh, it definitely does look. He's not been firing on all cylinders here today, has he? He's had a couple of challenging matches. Well, one challenging match, he had to buy the first one. So he's never really recovered, I don't think. But look at the Niwaza there, that Sangaku, and it does look very uncomfortable. But he manages to get out of there, but...
Nagushev is never going to have a better chance.
Well, that was an opportunity there missed, wasn't it? Nagushev has just made him angry now.
Well, the interesting thing there was once they'd gone off the competition area, he could only work on that technique. Unless something came from that, he couldn't change it to something else.
Yeah.
So you had to finish him off with that Sangaku. I know it's a slightly tricky thing to explain, but he couldn't, having left the competition area, he couldn't then decide to change it to something else, because that would be a break in that technique, and that would be an immediate mate.
It could be a slight variation
on the existing thing. Yeah, exactly. He could, however, have been rolled by Shavdatuashvili and immediately into Shavdatuashvili's Osakoni. That would be allowed, which is something completely different. And then he could roll him, you know, it could keep going. But they all have to connect to something. It can't be something completely different.
Well, both pick up a Shido apiece. A minute and a half remaining in this contest.
Shavdatuashvili has taken a whack to the nose. Maybe the eye as well, and Nagushev holds out a hand, gives him the hand slap.
Next contest on Tatami 1.
And they get back underway.
For men under 81 kg. In white, judo
Nagashev looking
representing
for that
Ukraine.
left hand around the back, wants to get in a little bit deeper there.
In blue, judo representing Uzbekistan.
Draws in Uchimata combination we've seen so many times throughout the day in various weight categories. Very popular combination. This time a bit more deeper in the back, but the Uchimata is hovering around there for the Georgian. Just doesn't seem to be managed to get the hand on the gi. Shavadashvili really looking pretty flat today.
Well, we mentioned the thing that Natalie Powell was talking about, being prepared and being properly prepared.
Yes, and that's the case. You've got to admire these athletes that have just come off the back of the Olympic Games, and we know how grueling that preparation for Games time was, and especially when it was extended another year. Physically and mentally, that would have been really tasking for all athletes. So to be able to come back so quickly into the world tour, to then prepare yourself, it's tricky. Physically, very demanding. Mentally, it's a challenge, isn't it, on its own? And maybe this is the result of what we're seeing here today with the Georgian. That he's an amazing athlete and he's got such pedigree and results that back it up all the way. And but it's really not the man that we are so used to seeing.
Well, as Loretta was pointing out, the last time we saw him before today, was back in July at the Olympic Games, where he lost in the final to Ono Shoei. And then we saw him again earlier on this afternoon, battling away against Adil Osmanov of Moldova. 6 minutes and 39 seconds, 6 minutes 40, call it, with the, he went into golden score.
Oh, it was a battle, wasn't it? There's a nice Sianagi there. Oh, the head just went the wrong way there. Hips in. Georgian, a little bit of a spark from him there. Didn't last very long though. Takes the sleeve. Well, Nagachev has really given him a good run for his money out here. Any opportunity, piling the pressure on. Still no score, and that's what counts. Unless you pick up 3 shidos, then it's all over and done with. It's still 2 minutes into golden score, 6 minutes of a battle that's been going on here, and neither athlete closer.
Shavdatuashvili picked up a second penalty, this time for avoiding to take a grip.
Yep. Tries the Koshiguruma, just the head slips out of the way. Well, he was given a few lifelines in the previous match. I think he's given a couple of lifelines here. Hooking in once more with the Ochi-Uchimata combination. Being defended by the Russian. It's really a battle who can get the leg in front.
Golden score,
Bit of a 50-50 there, attack for both the Georgian and Russian.
21 years old, Nagashev. He's got a younger brother, Abrek. Absolute talent as well. Real pressure for
They're almost on their knees here.
Shavdatuashvili must have thought, I'll have a go in Abu Dhabi because the field won't be that big. There won't be many fighters, so I won't have many fights. Well, that may very well be the case because he's in the quarterfinal now.
Yeah.
It's his second fight. However, he's been on the tatami now.
It's like he's had 2 extra fights in the first
already,
match,
yeah,
and
exactly.
now an extra fight here in the second. And he's up against this 21-year-old that is most probably thinking to himself, do you not know who I am, for goodness sake? But
how can you treat me this way?
This, I think he was a cadet world champion, I think I remember. Let's double check. I might be wrong.
Yeah, no. He won the Cadet World Championships back in 2017.
Right.
He was in Chile. He was one of those.
Just double checking it wasn't a brother or something like this, but I remember
Chile was
up in him.
an incredible
cadet
tournament.
World champion a few years back,
and
21.
junior European champion as well.
Strong young athlete that has got a lot of potential and is really taken.
So you could say that the cadets were back in 2017, but you can't really talk about, you know, the junior European championships being that far away when they were only last year. He's continued that, you know, that progress.
That young development program, hasn't he? It really is doing extremely well.
Now, terrific showing here. Yeah, so this is his second contest, but he may just as well have had 4, Shavdatuashvili, for the length of time that he's been on the mat, and he's still got 2 left. If he takes this one, it'll be a semi-final and then a final. So much for a small field. He's breathless, isn't he? Look. Who's going to be first to their feet?
Well, I think both of them are on their knees right now. This has been
Shavdatuashvili's on his back.
I'm just tired.
Nagashev is up.
It's been a very physically demanding match. There's no doubt about that. Coming up to 9 minutes.
He has looked, to be honest, Shavdatuashvili, the one most likely to score just in this last golden score period. They've been slightly untidy, but he's had a few attacks. Nagashev has just slowed up that little bit, and he's picked up the Shido. That usually acts, as you know, as a sign. He's going to burst into action now.
Well, the physical and mental maturity of the Georgian against this young athlete that's... yes! It took his feet from under him, but just not enough.
Well, if you look at the movement, it's exactly what he would want.
A little skip.
It's this next step here. That's the one. That left foot just goes perfectly where Shavdatuashvili wanted him to. That's a feeling, a touch thing, isn't it?
And Nagashev did so well to get off that, didn't he? Really good reaction. He just managed to
as
no
well.
more.
He takes both of them, doesn't he? Nidan Kosadagari. I thought initially that it was just, you know, the Ashi was on the front on the leg closest to him, but he actually went around the back and took both.
Took the supporting leg, didn't he? Took it from under him. Sutemi was there from Nagashev.
I think it's coming now, Loretta.
It does seem to be, doesn't it?
Shavdat has stayed the course with the young gun's energy,
Yeah.
and now he's just got that little bit more left in him, Shavdat, and if he doesn't take it on the with a technique, with a throw, then he's clever enough on the clock, as we saw in the previous contest, just to
Yes,
pile them up, and he'll take it that way. Take it any way you can.
I think it's it. Yeah, I think if the Georgian comes out a couple of attacks, then that'll be it.
Well, he showed that, didn't he? That he had the right kind of timing and awareness of the state of the contest earlier on. I can't imagine that kind of knowledge has left him all of a sudden.
No.
He knows where he is. He knows what he's got to do.
He's got the inside grip now, a little bit more control. Yes, there it is. That's the wasabi.
That's a bit generous, because I felt there was the break when he had the hand down. It's a tricky thing. Because
it was a
here's the
continuous...
replay. Down he goes.
But it was continuous.
Is he up at any stage? Is he up from the technique? He goes down here. He pushes. That's okay.
And he keeps pushing. He keeps driving. As you can see, the reaction of his opponent.
Yeah,
the
he's
arm
still
is
going
floating.
backwards. Yeah.
He's trying desperately, which means there is resistance there.
Yeah, Shavdat really doesn't stop,
No.
and it's whether he stops or not is more important, because he's the one who's executing the technique.
Yeah.
So you can't really look at Uki, you have to look at Tori. Does Tori ever stop in his attempts to throw? No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
Does Uki ever stop during the throwing process? He does, because he almost sits up. But that's not important. What happens to Uki is not important except the landing. So even if you try to resist, as you would, Uki would try to resist. If Tori does not stop his efforts, then it's continuous. Because it's the action of the throwing that we're judging. We're judging whether the throwing action was continuous. Whether during the throwing action, Uki came up with some power to try and stop it, that's another matter, because in the end he didn't stop it. He didn't stop it. And as long as Tori's action was continuous, there's going to be a score.
And there you've got a quick finish there after that grueling last
Turayev
match.
again.
Turayev, Ippon, straight away.
Pulls things back as far as the timing is concerned.
That's it.
Nice.
That was good.
That was a good call as well, because the referee was on the opposite side. So
I would love Neil to have been up here for that particular contest, because he would have had to have introduced Kikmatilog Turayev and Makhmadbekov. He loves those two.
Next contest on the number 2, quarterfinal for women under 16.
Right, who have we got coming up next? Quarterfinal on mat number 2. Andrea Leshki of Slovenia goes up against Renata Zakova of the Czech Republic. It's Leshki in the white judogi, Zakova in blue.
For Australia,
Katarina Hecker's just won her contest down on mat number 3 against Caitlin Quadros of Brazil.
that was
Turn
a
up
good
for the
win.
book.
Yeah, very good win.
Next repechage.
Another Australian coming onto the mat now as well, Iva Coughlin.
In white for Australia, Iva Coughlin. In blue for Mongolia, Serendula and Chibik.
Right.
Second round for men under 81 kilo to dummy 1. In white for Canada, Etienne Drian. In blue for Poland, Pavel Drzymal.
Just a quick note about the quality of the competition. If I didn't feel that I had to make some comment about the quality, then I'd just avoid it.
Yeah.
But given that there have been, a few comments about, the numbers are not that big, and the quality after the games, it's not that high. I would have avoided it if that was the case. I just wouldn't mention it. Keep quiet, don't mention it. However, that's not the case. We have not been adversely affected by the numbers, and we certainly have not lacked quality, because some of the contests we've seen have been absolutely gripping and really good judo. So for those of you that follow the tour regularly at home, I'm sure that you will have noticed that the intensity from the commentary team and the interest in what's going on is as high as it always is, because we've still got good quality matches to commentate on, and I hope you are enjoying the broadcast at home, wherever you may be, and I hope you and your families are safe as well, given that we're still in the midst of this global pandemic. Let's hope that 2022 gets us back somewhere closer to normality. Right up in the stands, opposite mat number 1, I just seen Alessia Kuznetsova of Russia sit down. So after her elbow damage yesterday, I'm going to pop up there and say hello. I'll leave you with Loretta Kusatova.
Thank you. Leski there, on the receiving end. Zakova picks up a Wazari for that effort. Nicely executed. Leski walks straight onto that. Takes a high collar grip. Couple of steps back, turns under her opponent there. Although the hand was trying to block from Leski, it wasn't enough to block the technique from finishing into a Wazari. So that was that's a great score there, with under a minute remaining in this quarter-final. Now Leski has got a lot of work to do now. The pressure definitely on the Slovenian. Attempt there. Got to be careful there. There is a couple of the Shidos, one apiece, and those 20 seconds remaining. It's important to stay positive. Leski now in real trouble. Tries to get the movement, the momentum going for that Tai Toshi. A little bit of a spin. Comes round the back now. Tries to engage deep, but runs out of time. So that's a massive upset for Slovenia, as Leski, the number 1 seed, goes now down into the repechage. Well, we'll see her a little bit later on. But definitely won't be seeing her in the final. Or in the semi-final, I should say.
Number 2, winner of the quarter-final in blue. Czech Republic, Renata Zachova. Zachova goes to the semi-final.
So she'll be up against now The winner of this next match coming up, this is Vermeer of the Netherlands in the white, Davidova representing Russia in blue.
The Dhabi one is time for the quarterfinals, men under 81 kilogram. In white, judogi representing Belgium, the current world champion, Tokyo Olympic Games bronze medalist, Matthias Kasser. In blue judogi for Ukraine, Sergei Krichach.
Well, nicely controlled there from Sunny Vermeer. Great start, just in the first half a minute. Good Tewaza, well controlled. Sunny Vermeer now was looking for the Niwaza. Grip comes round the back. Kosota digs in deep. Picks up a Shido for below the belt line. Davidova, just be careful, as you can see when Sunny Vermeer tries to get that lapel grip. You can see Davidova just holding on to her own lapel. The referee gets sight of that, well, she'll be penalised. Vermeer now again trying to work in the Niwaza. Turns her opponent over. She's on her back now, but the next aim is to tie up the upper part of the body, which she fails to do. Well, this seems to be all Vermeer's work now. She's dominated right from the beginning. Opening seconds of the contest picked up a Wazari and has controlled all the way through this contest, and Davidova finding it very difficult, but there's a nice turn through there. With just over a minute remaining. The Russian now really needs to try and change the tactics. Something like an ultimate surprise against a Dutch opponent. Whether she can think on her feet as fastly as her opponent is dominating this match is another thing, and it's looking very, very difficult for the Russian to make any changes to what her game plan was going into this contest. She's in a good position here for the Niwaza, but obviously the referee feels that there wasn't enough action.
qualifies for the bronze medal contest. Tatami 3, semi-final, women under 70 kilo. In white judogi for Japan, Tanaka Shiho. In blue judogi for France, Marie-Ève Gaillet.
Oh, well, that was a little bit out of control there. She came for a big hare, lost control and collapsed on her supporting leg. It's a little bit awkward there, but desperate attack within the last desperate seconds of this contest. As the clock ticks down, Vermeer will take the win and a place in the semi-final.
Winner of the quarterfinal contest on Tatami 2 in white for the Netherlands, Sora Vermeer.
So Vermeer will be up against Zakharova
The world and
in
European
that semi-final a
bronze
little bit
this
later
year.
on.
Vermeer goes to the
And in the bottom
semi-final.
half of the draw you have
The winner
Renshaw of Great
Russia
Britain
in the representative.
and Heka in the other semi-final of the under-63s. Davidova will go into the repechage, and in that first match she'll be up
Next
against
contest
Leski.
on Tatami 2 is
Slovenia.
repechage for women under 70 kilo. In white for Sweden, Ida Eriksson. In blue for Russia, Taisia Kireva.
So now we have Eriksson from Sweden, and this is the first match of the repechage, up against the Russian Kireva in blue.
Eriksson's done a great job today.
She's had, I was just looking back at the draw and seeing how she has performed throughout the day, and she's done extremely well.
I've been impressed with this effort.
She lost out to Scocimaro from Germany,
Yeah.
and that was a really tough match, there's no doubt about it. And
63 and 70 kilos for Sweden have been unusually good weights for a number of years. I remember they had a girl called Emma Barkeling in the 63 kilo category, and then they had two girls after Emma Barkeling in the under 63 kilo category at one time. Mia Hermansen, who ended up with a bad knee injury.
I'm just looking that we've got a, although this is a really interesting and a
Oh, you want to
crucial
go down
match,
to a semi-final?
I'm just seeing
yeah.
that we've got a semi-final on mat number 3,
Okay, let's
and that's
go
against
down
Tanaka
there then, yeah.
of Japan.
And Marie-Ève Gahi.
Gahi. So
Okay, if you want to continue watching that, just click on 2, but we're going to go down to number 3. We join the contest with just under a minute left to go. It's Tanaka Shio of Japan in the white judogi, Marie-Ève Gahi in blue.
and this is looking to be a very tough match indeed. We're down to the last half a minute of the contest. No Shidos, no scores. So it's still up for grabs, this final position. Gahi coming in with that Cianagi on her way out though. Tanaka
Whoop.
on the exchange.
Yeah, so sorry, I was just in the middle of telling you about that, the Swedish thing with
Yes.
Emma Barkling, Mia Hermansson, and currently at 70 kilos, Anna Bernholm.
Bernholm, yeah, and she's very, very strong.
And now they're joined by young Miss Eriksson, who's making her way up the pile.
Good training partners, and you see why the relationship of the successes coming from the middleweights is because they've got depth, and that when it's actually coming to a day-to-day training program, that strength within the weight category is only going to accelerate performance on the world tour. And I think this is where we're seeing the benefits of that. We see a lot of the countries where they've got depth have success. Well, we're into the golden score, and this is definitely so close.
Tatami 2, next contest, semi-final for the women under 70 kilo. In white judogi representing Germany, Joanna Stochimaro. In blue judogi representing Great Britain, Kelly Peterson-Pollard.
Gahi right over the top there. That's where she's dangerous, when she gets that arm deep onto the belt and comes through with Uchimata. Again, she just gets in front of Tanaka. Although it doesn't stop Tanaka trying desperately to push through. Minute and a half coming up to now for in the golden score. Of trying to the idea. Oh, what a finish there. Gahi went forward for that lapel grip, left herself exposed with that leg, and the Kochigari was just there for the taking. Beautifully executed, a pull forward, step in the wrong direction, Vagahi, giving her the ultimate prize. Beautifully done.
Semi-final on Tatami 3, in white for Japan, Tanaka Shiho. Shiho goes to the final.
Well, Gahi will be desperately disappointed in that one, but you cannot take it away from Tanaki. That was a lovely finish and a place in the final of the 70 kilos. And she'll be up against the winner of Skochimaro of Germany, Peterson Pollard of Great Britain, which is on mat number 2 at this particular moment. We'll go across to mat number 2 because that's a semi-final.
In white for Russia, Aslan Babinova. In blue for Great Britain, Lachlan Moorhead.
We can go across to mat number 2. You can see the final outcome of
The semi-final between
the
Giovanna
semi-finals.
Skochimaro and
Yeah.
Kelly Peterson-Pollard of Great Britain. Right, so if you want to stay on mat number 3, just click on mat number 3, but we're going to go down to mat number 2 and take a look at the rest of the semi-final.
It obviously was the way you said
Yeah,
it.
you have to have a voice of authority.
I wasn't so demanding. I'll have to work on my tone. Right.
I think it's the kind of setup, isn't it? You know. Anyhow, because it didn't work initially for me either.
I should have just gone, oi!
Here we are.
Scotchimaro here now in the white and Peterson Pollard in blue. Germany versus Great Britain.
And we join the contest with a little over a minute left to go. There's no score and both fighters are penalty free.
The winner of this will have to compete against Tanaka, who's already the decider of the bottom half of this draw for the final.
She's done well for herself,
yes,
then.
Defeated Gahi in style, I should say. Yes.
The contest taking place down on mat number 1 between Aslan Lapinegov of Russia and Lachlan Moorhead of Great Britain. The winner of that, by the way, will face Matthias Kassa of Belgium in the first of the semi-finals. Good luck with that one.
Peterson Pollard there, left hand on the lapel. Draws down on that lapel grip, trying to get a reaction out of Scotchimaro as she backs her onto the edge, but then walks onto so dangerous, that Uchimata. So although she tries to work the edge, what she cannot do is drive forward, because the long limbs of the German is definitely a dangerous move indeed. German has that lovely Uchimata combination that has been very effective throughout the day, and Peterson Pollard will obviously know that through experience and watching her previous matches. She's done her homework.
Martin Hojak has won his contest down on mat number 3 against Viktor Sterpo of Moldova. He's a good boy, Hojak. A little bit unlucky with the draw, but he's still in there.
Well, there you have it. In the golden score, just clipped the front with the, and looks like the Osotagari could have possibly been the Harai-goshi. We'll just have a look here.
She was just lucky to get some contact.
Yep.
But it was the hands, the upper body is so strong.
It was so upper body controlled.
Because she really misses with the leg. No, she doesn't. She actually does catch her. She catches her and goes over for that. But putting her onto her back, was all the upper half. But she does catch her with the leg.
Yeah, she caught her off the bounce, didn't she, trying to get over that long leg to start with. But Peterson Pollard will go down into the repechage final.
Well, what a repechage contest we've got here. Kazbek Nagushev of Russia goes up against Somon Makhmadbekov of Tajikistan. Both of these, to be honest, could have been semi-finalists. But Nagushev fell to Shavdatuashvili, didn't he? And who was it that put Makhmadbekov down here? Oh, that was Turayev. So they've lost that to two big names there, and it will be up next Shavdatuashvili and Turayev coming up next.
That'll be a really interesting match. I look forward to that.
So we've got two really good contests to come. The one on the mat now, Kazbek Nagushev in the white judogi up against Somon Makhmadbekov in blue.
We have golden score on the Dhabi 1.
Down on mat number 3, I think we're going to have to go down there, aren't we? We're going to have to miss this one, I'm afraid. Yeah, Sendocher Sogbata of Mongolia is up against Armen Agayan of Russia. It's Sendocher in the white judogi, Agayan in blue. There is no scorers yet. We've got 2.5 minutes left in regulation time as Sendocher attacks left-sided. Again, just managed to get a hand free and put it on the tatami to avoid going over. Without any real danger, I'm talking about. Given what we saw yesterday with poor Alessia Kuznetsova, who I managed to have a chat with earlier on. Arm is in a cast. Likely to be 4 weeks out before she can start the rehab work, and then another 3 or 4 weeks after that. So a couple of months off. She was a bit tearful, as one would expect. Mind you, if you're going to be off, best to be off right now over the Christmas New Year period.
Because they're so young and they're fit.
Well,
they recover so quickly, don't they?
She's actually at the back end of her career now. Poor old Kuznetsova.
Poor old.
Well, 28, you know, so...
But you know, that's not actually old, really.
Unfortunately, in Russia, you get the 28, 30 for the women, and they turn the, what do they call it? The hourglass over, and next.
Gosh.
It's a hard life.
Yeah, it's a hard, but they've got such depth, haven't they? And
some of them are coming here at 17 or 18.
Yeah.
So, and Kuznetsova herself came to us at 16 when we first saw her, so she's an old hand. No pun intended.
Old hand.
with the broken arm, I mean. So.
You're just bad.
Oh dear. Agian has picked up 2 penalties as he goes over there onto his side. Blistering speed from Sendocher there, really quickly into that. Looked maybe like Taitoshi Seotoshi, possibly. I think that was good. I mean,
it looks strong from this side.
They want to have another look at it, but I think, you know, at speed that was fine for me. Well, I'm not the referee, am I? So
came off the cross grip there, looking, and then through with this.
Yeah. Unless
well,
the elbow
looked like it was down.
And the bad thing here is that this is away from us, and we see the elbow. That's the referee on that side.
It was the elbow that went down first.
You've got to see that. We see that from this side.
Yeah, she had a good view.
The other side is the better view, and maybe got caught up with the speed, just as I did when I said, "Oh, blistering speed," and over he goes.
It was a lovely entry. There's no two ways about
that.
But
you've got to look at the landing, not the flight.
Yeah. And it's so easy to get sort of excited about the flight, isn't it? Because there's so much power in the entry, so much height and explosion, and then ends up being flat at the end. Is it? Oh, well, he's piling on the pressure, there's no doubt about it. A couple of good strong attacks. There's 2 Shidos on the board for the Russian, so he's got to be careful. He's building himself up for another Shido here.
Golden score, Tatami 2.
All right, well, we're going to go into golden score now.
That was risky, that last action from Agian. He could have, done himself here as Sendocher attacks. He wants to go over, but Sendocher isn't finished. He's thinking about the counter, but Sendocher isn't finished. He could have taken him back. He was lucky.
And his right hand slipped from the back as well, so he didn't actually have any control of his opponent as he was entering in for that counter attack.
that contest that we began with Nagushev and Makhmadbekov is still going on. They're into golden score, and after that long golden score that Nagushev had with Shavdatoashvili, he's into another golden score, this time with Makhmadbekov. He can't have a lot left in the tank, surely. And Shavdatoashvili, as much as, you know, I don't want to put the mockers on him, he can't have anything left in the tank. I'm surprised he's still standing.
Oh, he has really, but they're young, and the thing is,
Shav's not young. They're younger than we are, Loretta.
I know. I always class them as being so young because
they're not young any longer. In the scheme of things, you know, he's an old hand, isn't he? Gold medalist from 2012. Some of these kids there can't remember 2012 that he's fighting.
Don't rub it in.
No, but think about it.
I know it's true.
No, if he's up against a 17 or 18-year-old, and we're talking about how many Olympic Games ago? 3 Olympics now? For us, it was yesterday.
Yes.
For them, it's a lifetime.
The thing is, like some of these athletes, you feel that they've been there and they have had a long innings, but some of them started so young. They were in their teens. And when I was looking at some of the results, they're picking up really good senior results at the age of 19, 19, and they're on the world tour.
But I'm thinking if you know, a 19-year-old comes up against Shavdatoashvili, he was 10 when Shav was winning the Olympics.
Exactly, yeah.
So, 10-year-old watching judo.
He's idle.
Oh, he's gone over.
Well, he was always threatening that, wasn't he? He kept the pressure on right through the beginning of that golden score. There was never an opportunity that his opponent had a look in at all. And there was some lovely ashi, wasn't there?
Little Ko Sotogari brings it down.
Nice touch. Upper body control, you can see pulling down just behind the arm there on the back, directing him straight onto his back there.
They changed it to Wazari, and when you see the replay,
from
where she's standing, I think that looks like Ippon, but from where we are, we can see IJF.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
You know, and it's unfortunate for her because she's got two unfortunate decisions in there.
Just in the wrong position.
Yeah.
But that's where we have the care system to make sure the right call is made.
But you know something, if I'm a referee, had I been a referee and that had happened, I was signalling Wazari because it was in golden score, so it would end the contest anyway. You know, I wasn't going to put my neck out and be absolutely, you know, technically correct and say, is it Ippon? So, no, it's good enough for a score because no one's going to cancel it.
I would have.
Sneaky.
Yeah.
Right, repechage contest here on mat number 3. Let's jump quickly to mat number 2 because the aforementioned Lasha Shavdatoashvili is
this is going to be another humdinger. That's all I want to know. Can Shavdatoashvili go? He's actually doubled up every round.
Every time.
So far he's actually had maybe about 5 matches when really on paper it's only 2.
He's on the mat against Kikmatilog Turayev of Uzbekistan. It's Shavdatoashvili in the white judogi, Turayev in blue. Here's Loretta Kusakdor.
Well, how long can this guy go? At the end of the day, his first match was into, I think, 9 minutes. His second round was almost about the same. So it's he's been out having some real humdingers.
He's taken a bit of a bump to the nose.
He's had that a couple of times today, hasn't he?
They were thinking about getting wiped up. However, Ramzi Shamirov, the referee, has said, okay, just wipe it off and we'll go on. Too late to talk about social distancing with Turayev now. Whatever you've got, he's got. So go on, go ahead.
That's it. Turayev, though, this is for the Georgian having not one of the best days of competition. He's really had to work hard to get to the semi-final, but against the Uzbek, this is maybe this could be a step too far for him. Turayev is really on his case. He's most probably watched his performance throughout the day, knows that he's not been the sharpest as we've expected. Comes in the inside with the left hand on the lapel. Taps the feet a couple of times to try and get a bit of a rise out of his opponent. And the Georgian tentatively tries to step forward and catch that lapel, but as you can see, he defends without a grip, walks along on the dangerous line and picks up a Shido. So it's a Shido apiece now, and we're halfway into this contest. Turayev again has got that lifeline, left hand on the lapel, strong controlling grip. Can now start to try and set up his next move. Georgian doing a lot of thinking about it, but very little action coming from him at this moment.
Well, he's going to have to hope that he's got the timing right here to keep up the right kind of tempo. They both look as though they're perfectly happy to compete in the middle of the tatami, so that's one penalty that they've avoided. The other one that they want to avoid is a penalty for avoiding to take a grip, and they haven't.
Well, they've given a Shido apiece, so that's 2 Shidos each.
I didn't think that was right for Shavdatuashvili.
Really?
I felt
so
that,
sure.
I felt that he was, well, there's a difference, isn't there? Avoiding to take a grip or passive. And I've just mentioned he's got to keep up the rate of attacks, because he just didn't.
Well, they've kept it, yeah.
Well, there's no need to take it off because neither of them were attacking.
No, that's it. I would have said, right, they've been both given.
So let's give them the passivity, but avoiding to take a grip for me is a different thing. Neither of them were moving away, looking to avoid. You know, you can still stand there and play patake. Okay, that is the avoiding to take a grip. But it wasn't. When they did grip up, they didn't do anything.
No, that's the thing. They're not doing anything.
So for me, passivity would have been a better one. Anyway, it's worked out the same way. They've both got 2 penalties. And I was in the middle of saying he's got to avoid an unforced error. That for me is an unforced error. The clock in his brain wasn't working properly. He just lost sight of, you know, when he should attack. And he's a bit smarter than that. He showed that in the previous contest. This time he's picked up a penalty which I think was unnecessary.
Yeah, of his own doing. Yeah,
of his own doing. And it's made things very difficult, well, not only for him, but also for Turayev. Turayev is in the same boat. He can't afford a gripping infringement, step out, you know, crushing, anything.
Yeah, what we're looking at is, like you've said, we've got the Georgian here who's got, at this moment it's turned around, the Georgian has got a very strong controlling grip but doing nothing with it. Turayev is trying to break the grip and do nothing to back it up. So both are like a 50-50. Neither one of them have engaged and been positive at all. And it's tricky. They're both very strong athletes. Kata plays a massive part in this contest, and neither one of them have got it right yet. But now we're seeing a little bit more of a gutsy move there. Turayev is close up now. He's engaging. There's a good strong attack from Turayev.
Now, Shavdatuashvili, because they've only just got into golden score, 31 seconds, he's got to know 40 seconds is your maximum.
Yes.
He's gone 31, no attack. And that was a big attack from Turayev. 40 seconds is your maximum. You've got to come up with an attack now. And you can't afford
He's
to...
experienced enough to be able to
he
do
should
it.
know.
He should know. He's experienced enough. And as we said, he's been in this position already twice.
Twice, exactly. It's as though he's planned it today to take the contest long, wear his opponents down, and then finish them off, either tactically or hopefully for him with with a throwing technique. But
yeah. He's definitely running the clock today.
Got to be careful here. We're already into a minute of golden score. Nothing from Shavdatuashvili
He's
here.
around the belt here. He's got close and he drops to his knees and he pushes on that elbow. So I think that's, I don't know. It'd be nice to see that one again, see what really happened there. Turayev had his arm round the back, but yes.
On the arm.
On the arm. That's definitely a Hansokimaki for me. You could see him there. Yeah.
Sorry.
He locked it. And although you say that his hand is on the belt,
let that go.
Let it go. I am so surprised.
And they see the same slow motion we do.
Yep.
It just looked as though he went against the arm, and there was no attempt at a nage, was there?
No. And for me, it was. They might have said, well, for Turayev, his arm was round the back. His arm was on the belt. Could he have let go? I don't think so, because it was wrapped over.
Same with on there with you. I thought that he'd gone against the arm there. Okay, well we can find out the explanation.
Yeah, it'd be interesting
and
to
give
see
it another on another occasion. I have to tell you, all threatening here now. Shavdatuashvili is skating on really thin ice here because he's not threatened Turayev at all. He cannot have any complaint if they penalise him.
I don't
here.
think so.
At the same time, if
I
they
think
call
that was
Hajime,
classed as a distraction.
Yeah.
That's a cloak and dagger one. That was.
We want a throwing technique, or we want a scoring technique rather than a penalty. However, when it comes to this, when it's this close, and they give a penalty, I'm not going to be against it. Neither of them can come up with a score at the moment. We might be here all afternoon waiting for it.
There's a good attack there. Turayev has got to be careful that he just doesn't get so frustrated with his opponents.
Yes.
And this is where I think the Georgian's clever. He frustrates the life out of him, and it's tactically what he does well.
And I've got no problem with it. That's part of the game, isn't it?
Yes.
Make it difficult for your opponent. It may not be the most attractive, but he does have attractive judo.
Yeah.
So he just added another dimension to it. And Turayev is just as passive as he is. Look,
Turayev has got a good grip there, but he doesn't use it.
Golden score, Tatami 3.
We did see someone yesterday get shadowed for the...
Yes, yeah. It's so difficult when you think about it. It's been a grueling match. There's been 6.5, nearly 7 minutes now.
Yeah.
And your arms are just burnt. The lactic acid that's built up in those forearms to try and tuck yourself in is not an easy task at all.
This was the last contest on Tatami 3.
Shavdatuashvili could have done without a break there, actually. He wanted to keep on at Turayev.
Well, that was a nice opening, though, there for that Osota just off the side.
It's such a similar pattern to the previous two contests.
Very similar, isn't it? It's been a
wearing them down.
Yeah, he's wore his partner down.
Take the steam out of them.
Build up the frustration.
Yeah. Keeping himself nice and tidy, isn't he? He must have seen that penalty from yesterday.
Turayev trying to get the cross grip, come round the back. Comes in with the inside lapel. Left hand on. He's got the grip now. He needs to really work from there and put an attack in. The Ouchigari is there for the Georgian. Whether he will go for it.
The time 1, 2 minutes to go.
Poised nicely here.
Oh, ho, ho. Well,
Moves down onto his front.
well, they're all shouting Nishido here, and
Why aren't they shouting Wazari? You know? Shido.
maybe because he knew it wasn't a Wazari.
It's so negative. Shavdatu is just shading it for me, despite that last attack.
Oh, I don't know.
Not now.
Oh, yes. Well, I am delighted it's finished like that.
Yeah.
Because we've seen so many that it's been just grueling right to the wire. But there
Well, it was.
says
We-
it all. Oh, so
we had
to the
4:48.
Makakomi.
We had 4:48, didn't we? It was grueling.
In blue, representing Uzbekistan.
He just hit it nice. So to Makakomi, over he goes. No argument with that.
No, none at all. And the thing was, he'd had a go at that a moment or so before,
Yeah.
and he landed on his front when everyone was shouting, or a lot of people were shouting, Shido,
Shido,
Shido.
yeah.
And he thought, hang on a minute, I was in there,
I
I'll
was
give that
close.
another go.
Yeah.
And as Loretta said, we wanted it to end on a score. Nobody wants it to end on a penalty. But there has to be a certain amount of time. Right, semi-final in the no, this is a repechage contest in the under 63
Yes,
kilo
that's
category.
right.
Andrea Leshki of Slovenia up against Daria Davidova of Russia. It's Leshki in the white judogi, Davidova in blue. We'll follow that with the semi-final. Renata Zakova and Sana Fermer. Well, Zakova's done well, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Get to a semi-final of a Grand Slam. She's never done that before. Let's see if I've done her an injustice now. Maybe she has. Only 21, Zakova. She's coming up next. Well, at least I got that right. Never been in a Grand Slam semi-final even. Loretta Cusat-Doyle and Annette Berm are really good at filling out the contest sheets.
Well, someone has to do it.
And Neil as well, Neil Adams, he's up there. He does his. I suppose if you come from the old school.
Definitely old school.
I just
there's
took a
no
couple
doubt
of
a bit.
steps away from Loretta as I mentioned that.
No,
I
I'll
didn't-
take
I
that.
didn't want to get whacked. Yeah, then you fill out the contest sheets, and I used to fill them out religiously. I suppose when I got a little bit more used to ippon.org and then Judo Base and now live. .ijf.org. Don't do it any longer.
I always do it in case internet fails. I'm then prepared.
I love that Natalie Powell thing though. Yep, be prepared is one thing. But be properly prepared. She qualified it.
Well, this is no surprise here in this repechage of the under 63 kilos. The number 1 seed, which surprised us all, is now battling away for a place in the bronze medal final. She's up against Davidova of Russia in the blue there. Both these athletes have had a really tough journey here to this repechage. Davidova was defeated by Vermeer of the Netherlands in the quarterfinal, and Lesky defeated by Zakova, the Czech Republic, in also the quarterfinal. Lesky coming in with the hips. Yes! Oh, beautifully done. Ogoshi straight in. No messing around with that one. Definitely a big throw and a nice finish there. She come in with the kochigari, got the step back, the hips was managing to come through nicely. Need a little bit untidy, crossed leg as you can see, but it didn't stop her driving forward for the hip throw.
This year world silver medalist Lesky qualifies for the bronze medal contest.
So Lesky goes in for the bronze medal contest.
First part of the save, as I like to call it with Neil. When you're the number 1 seed and you end up in the repechage, you've got a save on your hands, and that's the first part of it. So she goes into the bronze medal match, and even if she wins that, all that it's going to be is a save. She just saved herself, you know, when you're the number 1 seed. So the first part is neatly out of the way. However, it's a different story for Renata Zakova of the Czech Republic. She's up against Sana Vermeer of the Netherlands. It's Zakova in the white judogi, Vermeer in blue. And for the young Czech fighter, this is a terrific position to be in. The semi-final. Never been this far in a Grand Slam as yet. Huge job, however, against a quality fighter in Sana Vermeer. They don't have a big team here, the Dutch, but they brought, you know, some quality. I think only Michael Corral tomorrow. So if you're going to bring 2, and you bring those 2, you know, those are top draw fighters. Last of the contests on mat 2. Still got some way to go on at 1. By the way, we'll go there after this. Understated is the word I would use for Sana Vermeer, and
yes,
probably also underrated.
Yes, I would say that as well. She is such a strong, consistent athlete, but always seems to be one that's underrated but under the radar.
You get overlooked.
Really, you wouldn't bring her to the forefront of being one of the big seeds, but battles away every time we see it, gives 110% out there every time. Vermeer now trying to create an opportunity there in the Niwaza. Doesn't seem to be much options available.
Winner of the repechage on the Dhabi one in blue for Great Britain, Lachlan Moorhead.
Well, that was a great win for Lachlan Moorhead that goes in the bronze medal.
For the bronze medal contest.
Yeah, the Ukrainian was busted up. He was all wrapped up around the head, and he could hardly walk, I'm afraid. He'd been really roughed up, so it just, you know, you have to fight who turns up. And if your opponent is not well, or they're injured, or they are under par, you can't say, okay, well, I'll go easy on you. I won't fight as hard. So yeah, good luck to him.
Yeah, he's doing extremely well. He's taking full advantage of the opportunities that he's gaining on the World Tour. And every time we see him, he seems to get stronger and more confident. So yeah, he's a good lad. That was a nice finish there. Vermeer now finds herself. We'll have another look at that. She comes in with the Sianagi, but her opponent falls over the opposite side. And scores upon and a place in the final.
This year's World and European bronze medalist, Vermeer, goes to the final. Representing Czech Republic, Zakova will compete for the bronze.
Zakova, the Czech Republic, will go in to fight for the bronze medal a little bit later on in the under-63s.
Yeah, real big day for her. Chance now. Well, it will, whatever happens, it will be the best finish that she's ever had. Because even if she were to lose out, it would be a 5th place finish. She's never been that far before. So she did have a 7th place. So twice she's finished. 7th Baku earlier in the month, and in Paris as well. She's beginning to put in some good performances here. But this one, I'm not sure who her opponent will be in that bronze medal contest. That may already have been decided. Let's have a look and see if we can go down. It has. She'll go up against Caitlin Quadros of Brazil, who has got to be next to Telma Monteiro. I'd imagine that Quadros was the most senior player in the competition.
Yeah, 34 years of age, definitely.
Quadros?
Quadros.
And
yeah.
what about Monteiro? Is she 32 or 33?
30.
Well, older. She's older. Yeah.
Is she 35?
I think she may be older. Oh, we shouldn't be talking about.
We shouldn't be taking.
Ladies at ladies' weight.
Divulged a lady's age.
Yes. Well, that I think has gone out the window now, hasn't it? Equality and everything. So,
Well,
given
I
that
don't mind people knowing that I'm
21. Yeah.
I think I'm taller than my waistline more than anything else.
I can't. I got stopped in the elevator the other day by one of the players, and he was saying, so must be 50. And he looked at me, you must be 50. I'm 62, mate. Oh, goodness. Right, let's see if we can
There's a nice finish there. Lovely technique.
Find out how old Tilma
So,
Montero is. I shall
Uzbek
expose
in the
her.
lead now in this repechage.
Loretta, trying to maintain
I'm trying to
some degree of
yes.
seriousness about the
I get very nervous when we
Yeah.
start talking about age. There's another strong attack that's Wazari Aseti Ipon. Now Uzbek goes through to the bronze medal match.
35.
35, I thought it was.
However, I think there was someone who was 39.
No,
Yeah, in the competition.
it's a comeback for me then.
Either in the competition or they
Winner of the
were at the
repechage,
games or
white
something.
judogi representing
Because it came up in the
Uzbekistan,
conversation with the
absolutely
International Judo Federation competition director, Dr. Lisa Allen. She was mentioning about someone who's going to be 39 then, I wonder, as we await the penultimate contest. Two semi-finals to come. The first of which features Matthias Kata of Belgium. He's up against Aslan Lapinigov of Russia. It'll be Kata in the white judogi, Lapinigov in blue.
For Russia, 2 times Masters silver medalist Aslan Lapinagov.
Well, let's have a look and see who it was yesterday. I wonder, did someone compete yesterday? I can't imagine that they did in the lightweights at that kind of weight. With that age, I mean.
And in the under 63s, Vermeer in the final with Rentschel. So that would be a very interesting match.
Yeah, possibly misheard. 35. And what did you say about Quadros? 32, was she?
34.
Okay.
So Cassie of Belgium in white, Lapinigov of Russia in the blue. This is the final, semi-final of the 81 kilo category. As they say, they leave the best till last. Is that what's normally said?
Who? Alan Kubetsov and Tim Gramkov.
Kubetsov, I think
Well,
that's
they
a-
leave them near the end anyway. Because normally it would be the last. And I'm surprised that they didn't do it that way round. Because even if it is the top one, they normally say, right, we've got 2 left. But it could be the timing,
Yes.
you know, when they were last on the tatami. Anyway, here they are. Lapinigov sporting a little bit of a beard. He hasn't got the full sort of I come from Dagestan or Ingushetia type beard, you know, because they normally have a really big growth. But
Temi Waza just lost his footing there. Wasn't in any danger, but timing was a little bit out there for Cassie. Pinnacle round the back there, controlling the right side of his opponent. Backing him off there to the edge of the contest area. Cassie very limited in where he can move, but he's got to take a bit of responsibility for that as he put himself in that position. Again, back pedals, finds himself close to the edge of the contest area. And Sianagi, beautifully done there. Well, that time he set that up nicely. Lapinigov was manoeuvring him to the edge of the contest area. You see him once more again. He's doing that, pushing him out. was a good move there. He got the lift, almost the rotation off the Sutemi-waza, Tomonagi. Lipinagov there picks up a second Shido. His tactics didn't really work out for him on that last occasion. Kase trying to open up on that lapel so he can give himself a little bit of room to maneuver into the Seoinage that we've seen a couple of times now, which is quite effective. Works, as you can see, really pushing, trying to get himself back off the edge of the contest area. Uchimata attempt there from the Russian. Nice timing. Switch of direction, showed for the Uchimata, went to the Ashiwaza and then went back into the Uchimata. A little bit of a nice bluff there. Arm around the back, controlled. Got the lift, but as you could see, didn't have that sleeve of Kase. Seoinage once more. Go around the back again once more, that left hand controlling the right side. Golden score now, no scores at the moment, and just 2 Shidos at
Golden score.
side of Lipinagov. So again, he's not out of trouble. One more would result in a disqualification, but he's been working extremely hard the past minute or so. Uses his feet nicely there. Gas with the Seoinage. Nice entry, got the lift, just didn't get the finishing rotation. Lifeline there from Kase that comes in again, Sutemi-waza.
Keeping nice and busy, isn't he?
Yeah, strong attacks each time.
Yeah.
No false attacks. All from that lapel grip. And there's the third and final Shido for Lipinagov for Hansokumaki, which
And
gives
the
the
winner
win.
of the semi-final in white, Judo
Yeah, he just got the tempo right, didn't he?
he?
Did everything that he had to do to keep
Yeah, Kasa did
Lipinagov
extremely.
at bay.
He did well there. Yeah.
Did everything to avoid picking up the penalties, and it made it just that little bit too difficult for Lipinagov to operate. And it was he, the Russian, who collected 1, 2, and then a third. Number of times that you hear of a coach complaining about, you know, their fighter being given a Shido for something, and it was the end of the contest, and all sorts of stuff. And I quite often tell them, I said, well, it wasn't that penalty that did it. It was the fact that he'd already had 2. That was what did it. Right, we come now to the last contest from the prelims and semi-finals. It's Alan Kubetsov of Russia. He's up against Tim Gramkov of Russia. It's Kubetsov in the white judogi, Gramkov in blue. Watching on from the wings, just on the edge of the shot there, is Matthias Kase. He's going to have to fight one of these in the final.
My thoughts behind this one, I think Kubetsov will be the one that we'll see in that final, but could be wrong. We've seen a couple of real close matches throughout the day.
Gramkov will have to really
Would have to
step up.
game, but they've got some great German athletes
Sure.
on the scene right now. Some real depth within German judo, producing middleweights, really some nice middleweight judo.
Can't remember having seen Kramkov in this kind of rarefied air,
no.
semi-final of a Grand Slam, a little bit like Zakova. You know, yes, seen him around, you know, doing a bit here and there, but not at the Grand Slam level. His best finish was a 7th place, and that was back in Paris. So, you know, like Zakova, just emerging this year with those sorts of finishes. 24.
24.
So been about for a bit. Initially at 73 kilos as well. Had a bash at that. That was quite a while ago, I think, though.
Kramkov picking up the first Shido now. It's a little bit like triple.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah,
It was when you mentioned that came to mind.
Edward, yeah.
Edward
Remember
Triple.
when he first came on the
yeah.
scene in Paris? It was amazing.
Yeah, quite right. Quite right. It was, just trying to remember who it was that told me first to look out for Edward Triple. She used to fight. No, actually, she used to fight for Germany. You never fought for Germany.
Oh, no, I never. But when he first came on the scene, I remember thinking, no, that young man is special. He definitely has got something.
Barbara Bandel. Barbara Bandel told me about Tim Kramkov first of all. She said she'd seen him, you know, at the German national championships and to look out for him. About Edward Triple, yeah, she told me about him. And she knew a bit about judo, so Babsy. 2014 was the last time that Kramkov gave us a run out at 73 kilos, so that was way in the past when he was a junior.
I like this Kramkov, his energy. He's keen, and he really does. He's trying, although he's up against a very tough opponent, physically tough as well. He's given him a good run for his money at the moment. He's trying to create opportunities for himself. He's laid back here. I just have a sense that something could happen for him. He really is coming forward.
Nice movement.
Pressing his opponent, putting him under pressure. It's one of those situations, nothing to lose, everything to gain here. Steps across, looking for that Uchimata. He's got a good strong grip on the lapel and sleeve there. He's got some control.
He wants to come with something else. He's just not sure what it is at the moment. He doesn't feel strong enough to launch. The Uchimata is what he'd like to throw with. In the absence of the Uchimata, he now needs to have something, because he put Kubetsov under a lot of pressure, so much so that he also collected a Shido for passivity.
It's a situation that he
almost.
It's like that sort of judo I just love.
Well, that's what we were saying.
Absolutely gutsy.
He wants to try something else. He just wasn't sure what. He thought, well, let me give this a go then.
Oh, yes, I do like that. Definitely, that's a nice little move there. It's one of those situations, he gets a good strong, he's got good strong kumikata, but he's not able to maneuver the Russian around to create too many openings for opportunities like what we've just seen, which was really, really nice. He's playing a very sort of tight, close-up game, and I don't think it suits the German very well. I think he likes space, and he needs to create a little bit more opportunity for himself by dividing himself away from his opponent. The Uchimata's there, but again, he's leaving himself, because it's so tight, It's very defensive, but there's also that the
Kubetsov for
hovering
me.
around for a counter.
Yeah, Kubetsov for me is just relying too much on reacting to what Gramkov is doing to allow this to continue without pointing it out. You know, all well and good to have great counters. That's lovely. However, you've got to produce something. You just can't, you know, be sitting back waiting for it and leaving it all up to Gramkov. I think that's slightly unfair, and I can't imagine they'll allow that to go on for too long, especially if he's going to be so obvious and just push his arms straight out. That's a great effort. Yeah.
Nice. That was good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Caught him cold.
You feel for the German, you really do, because he gave everything there. What he didn't have was space to manoeuvre.
He just switched off.
To create space.
He just switched off after the call of Soramade for the normal time, and he hadn't switched back on quick enough when they got underway in the golden score period, because the very first attack that got launched, he went over. And it was really neat as well, beautifully worked. Top half was done, and he knows that he's gone over, even though he hasn't gone onto his back yet. He knows that he's about to. He can't stop himself, and then he just falls onto his back. It was a good showing from Gramkov, but we'll see him again in the bronze medal contest, where we know he has not. It's uncharted waters for him, because the seventh place was the best finish for him.
It's going to be a good match, because he'll be up against Moorhead of Great Britain.
Oh, okay. So
that
I mean,
will be a very interesting.
Jacqueline Moorhead in the
open,
bronze medal contest in a Grand Slam. That's a terrific effort. That really is. So for both of them, that'd be something
There's
special.
great opportunity there for them.
Where would you like to start then? You've got the 63 kilo sheet in front of you. Why move from that? We'll just sort of go with the final. Just go with the final. Sana Ferrer is up against Lucy Renshaw.
Well, you've got two strong athletes in this final, Vermeer and Renshaw, and you can, like we've said before, we've already spoke about Vermeer, that she is one of these that is consistent. She's a hard, tough match to come against. Renshaw exactly the same though. She's very, very strong, good condition, and I think there's going to be a real clash between these two. It's going to be a hard one to call. I really do. Both deserve to be that gold medalist, but based on performance, I would, and I hate to say because you're like, but based on just performance here today, I would say Vermeer has created a lot more open opportunity. I've seen Renshaw. She has worked extremely hard to get to this final. There's no doubt about it, and it's going to be a battle. That's all I can say. It's going to be a real battle.
It would not surprise me if Lucy Renshaw won that. It would not surprise me.
No.
It would not surprise me if Sana Vermeer won it. That is how close it is.
It is. It's
70
one of those.
kilo category.
It's a 50-50. 70 kilos, well, we have Skochimaro from Germany. Again, she's had a great performance. It was a very small weight category, 11 judokas competing, and it's between herself and Tanaka. Again, this is going to be another good call. Both of them have fought extremely well. Technically, I would say Skochimaro with Uruchimata's the Uruchimata combination, having the slight height advantage, most probably could give her the edge that she needs to take that goal. So it's going to be awkward.
She hasn't been on the best form today. There have been a few things that I've seen that have kind of slowed her up. Mind you, she had Ida Eriksson, that was a tough one. And then Kelly Pedersen-Pollard gave her a good go as well.
Match.
So we shall see what happens in the final.
But Tanaka beat Gahi, and again, that's a very strong, that's a great win for Tanaka. So it'll be interesting to, again, it's a tough call. Yeah, definitely a tough call.
Either way for me. 73 kilo category, Turayev and Sendocher.
All I can say, there's going to be fireworks on that one, isn't there? Again, a really tough match. I think we're going to be in for a real treat. These are tough ones to call.
I'm making a pick here.
Is it Turayev?
Okay, I'm so glad you said that, because I'm going to go for Sendocher. Not least of all because Mashbat Buko is walking past. He's from Mongolia, and I don't want another slap.
You don't want to. You don't upset him.
I'm going to go for Sendocher Sogbata in that one. 81 kilo category, Matthias Kasa and Alan Kubetsov.
I'm going to go with Kasa.
Yeah,
Definitely for me. It was the
especially
number one
after the
this last one that we've just seen against
Bramkov.
Pinigov.
Yeah,
that was a very, very good match. And Kase for me is strong. Number 1 seed, a real class act.
Yeah.
So that's the one I would really put my neck out on the line for. That one.
Okay, join us again in an hour and a half when we'll be back with all the medal matches on day 2 of competition from this year's Abu Dhabi Grand Slam. From Loretta Cusack-Doyle and myself for now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.